So our final week 8 NFL picks video, live stream of the week. And we already did 2 picks videos, one with Andy and one with Evan. Now we're going to do our final one with Tom. This is a different one than what we saw earlier in the week, where we're not going to go straight down the card. We're going to concentrate on the games we like the most, kind of bounce around. And then we're going to have some fun, as usual, talking about nonsense. It's always it's always a great time doing that. Before we get into it, please hit like, subscribe, comment below, share this video, visit the link in the description for the merch store. For those of you who had Walt wears the same shirt 2.5 over, you sadly have lost. I am wearing the March's Greed Month t-shirt, so no more 100% USD man t-shirt, but you can get this t-shirt and others here at the merch store. You can change the colors of these shirts. You can get them in long sleeve, you can get them in hoodie, women's tank top, infant onesie even. Everything's 20% off too, so quite the bargain, if I say so myself. We get you can get mugs, you can get our famous apron, we have a baseball cap. It's all here. You can go to Amazon, buy my books. The most recent one is Jerks of the College Years, where I made fun of people I saw at Penn State. It was a fun book to write. I think you guys would have fun reading it. My first book was A Safety and a Field Goal, where it was a compilation of top 5 topics related to the NFL. And most of them were serious, but some of them were fun. And I shared some crazy stories that you guys probably haven't heard unless you read this book. So check that out. And also, please consider super chats and super stickers. It's the best way to support the show. Kevin Kovac gave us like $45 worth of super chats on Wednesday. It was awesome. Harambe Slayer helped us out on Thursday. Evan Daniel even popped in on Wednesday and gave us a $10 super chat. So thank you guys. Really appreciate it. And I always say this, and it's true, the YouTube ads don't pay much at all. It is quite sad. So if one of you guys super chats tonight, that'll exceed what we make off YouTube ads, which 100% true. All right, we are joined tonight by Quacky T. Tom, how's it going? How was your week 7?
Oh, Walter, here we are again. Hello to you and hello to everyone out there in the Walter football family. Hey, we had a pretty good week at 3-2, but we were talking. I've got my holiday lights up too. Can you see that? Yeah. Before yeah, I'm breaking the rules. Before I guess I should have some Halloween decorations up too, but that's what we're going with. But so our card went 3-2, and but we were talking in the green room that it felt like we went 1-4, but we're still holding really steady here at 21-14. You know.
Yeah, you're right. Like it felt like we went 1-4, 2-3. I think it's because our 2 losses were pretty ugly. But I'll take a 3-2 week most weeks. Now we need a little bit more. I've said before that if you average 3.5 wins per week, that will win you the super contest. So we're averaging with 21-14. We're averaging exactly 3. So we need to get some consecutive 4-1s, or even a 5-0 would be nice. But as long as we're holding serve at 3-2 for a while, I feel like we can get a hot streak going at some point in the second half of the season. So hopefully it starts tonight. I would love to get that going here.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. Hey, and how about, for those of you familiar with the San Diego Superchargers song, the lyrics go, "Coming your way, we're going to dazzle you with our play." Were you dazzled last night? Or Thursday night? Yeah, last night.
I was so dazzled. I took the Chargers minus 13.5 live. Unfortunately, I also took Carson Wentz over rushing yards, and he didn't run once, but he got hurt. As soon as he got hurt, I was like, oh man, this sucks. But then I was like, wait, you know what? I'll just take Chargers minus 13.5, and that canceled out, except for the vig, of course. But that was it was nice to get that back at least. And it was like Darrisaw got hurt, and then Wentz was like grabbing his shoulder in pain. And I'm like, yeah, Chargers minus 13.5 seems easy because they were up 11 at the time, and I'm like, they'll be able to outscore Minnesota by 3 the rest of the way, and they did by a wide margin.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I remember thinking on Thursday morning, I entertained taking them for Survivor. I took Kansas City this past week in Survivor, and that turned out to be a very easy win. Mm-hmm. So I moved on, but I thought for a moment I could take the Chargers, but I thought there's easier games, but of course, hindsight is 50-50, as they say.
Yep.
But
half the time there's hindsight, half the time there's not.
Exactly. Yeah. Hey, and real quick, for those of you watching the World Series, or for those of you who aren't, that Addison Barger for the Blue Jays, as they've blown it wide open. I don't know if the game ended yet, but he hit the first pinch hit grand slam in World Series history. Wouldn't that be like the coolest thing ever? It's like you hit the first pinch hit grand slam ever, like in the history of the World Series at home, like in front of the home fans against the defending champs. Like, how pumped up are you, like running around the bases? That must be freaking awesome, man.
Yeah, I'd be excited for myself. I'd be excited for the team, and I'd be I feel like I'd be justified in being angry at the manager for not putting me in the lineup.
Yeah, but I think that adds to the legacy on some level because it was a pinch hit, like a Kirk Gibson in sort of way.
Well, look, if the Jays end up winning the series, then I think that it'll go down as a cool moment
for sure.
But if they lose the series, then it's like, who cares? It doesn't matter.
It's just kind of a footnote there. Yeah, no, I don't disagree. I hope the Jays win. It's funny because they have Bo Bichette and they have Vladimir Guerrero Jr. They used to have Kevin Biggio on the team. He's not on the team anymore, I don't believe. But Biggio, Bichette, and Guerrero Jr. I grew up watching all three of their dads play. Dante Bichette and Vladimir Guerrero Sr., who's one of my favorite players of all time, and Kevin Biggio I mentioned. So Craig Biggio, the legendary second baseman for the Astros. That's so weird. All three of them, or all four of them were all three of them rather were really great players, Hall of Famers too. Yeah. At least two of them. But man, it's just like time is passing. Like I watched their dads play, and now like they're playing, and I guess I'm getting older.
Yeah, I know you. I know how you feel. Like I remember watching LeBron play, and his son's playing now.
Oh my God, I know.
Quote unquote.
Really. Yeah. Well, it's like my favorite call of all time, commentator call, the late great Tom Cheek, when Joe Carter hit that walk-off home run in '93 against the Phillies. Okay, touch them all, Joe. You'll never hit a bigger home run in your life. So, it's true. Like, how could you ever? Like, how many kids? Same thing, like with McCole Hardman catching the game-winning touchdown pass, to walk off the game. Yeah. How many kids? Not even kids that never played organized football that just threw it around in the backyard. We're talking like millions and millions and millions of people that had this dream that they're going to catch the game-winning touchdown to win, to walk off the Super Bowl. And only one person has ever done that, and that's McCole Hardman. To catch a pass, you can say James White did run one in, but to catch a pass, I guess that's so weird to think about. Or like Joe Carter to walk off to win the World Series with a home run. So you live for those great moments.
Yeah, we saw another one a few weeks ago when Kyler Murray got hit in the helmet by the ball and he fell down and hurt his ankle. Like, that's the first time quarterback's been hit by the ball in the helmet and hurt his ankle.
If it wasn't for stupid crap like that, we'd probably be in fifth place in the freaking Circuit Millions. But
I know. And the same play with obviously DeMarcado dropped the ball. I was actually talking to that. I was talking to this guy at the gym today. I met him for the first time. And he was super knowledgeable about football. Like, usually, when you meet someone and they're not into betting contests and stuff like that, he didn't know what the super contest was, but we were talking about teams. He's like, what, I really like the Colts, and he's like, but they have to get their cornerbacks healthy. They're missing the top outside corner and the slot corner. I'm like, oh, this guy knows something, most people, it's kind of like in the weeds, like most people don't know that sort of thing.
Right.
But yeah, I was talking about that, all the crazy bad beats and stuff like that, and he even rattled some off that I was like, yeah, I was on the wrong side of that one. He's like, yeah, what about that Rams blocked field goal return for a touchdown? I'm like, yeah, I was on that too. And then we were on the Jaguars week 2 against the Bengals, and there were a couple other ones, but yeah, it feels like every bad beat we've suffered, and we're still 21-14. So I think it's a good omen. We've suffered all the bad luck, and we're in a good position right now. Not a great position, but a good position.
Yeah, the only one that has gone our way was Battle of the Horses when we took the Colts. Yeah, that helped us. So at least we were not over.
Yeah. Yeah, I didn't bet that one personally, so I usually don't include that. But that did benefit for us. But yeah, I didn't bet that one. I didn't have that on my personal card. So we definitely had it on ours. Yeah, and that same week we also lost because look, that kind of balanced out with the Jaguars. I believe we also had Arizona versus Carolina, right? I could actually look back.
So too.
Let me look back to make sure. No, we did not. I had that personally, but we went 4-1 that week. That was our only loss to Jacksonville. But I personally had Arizona versus Carolina, and Carolina completed that 4th and 16.
I remember that.
Bryson Tremaine. Yeah, that was brutal. So that was another bad one. So yeah, it was rough. I feel like the one I got lucky on was the Jets cover against the Buccaneers, where the Bucs could have kicked the front door field goal, but it got blocked. But like then again, the Jets were close, and they allowed a 27-yard scramble and with 3 minutes left to Mayfield. And I was like, when that happened, I'm like, oh man, this is a bad beat. So I guess that canceled that. I don't know. I mean, we can discuss this all night. I feel like
right.
Like whether we got screwed or whether we got lucky, I don't know. But the important thing is that we're still in a good spot at 21-14. And if we go 4-1, if we go 4-1, 3-2, 4-1, 3-2, we alternate. I think we're gonna win the Super Contest. So
okay.
Or the Circa Millions.
And what's most important is that we're all having fun,
That's right.
We are having a good time this season. This is the most fun I've had in a few years.
Yeah,
I mean, I've always had fun on the show, but this season's felt different for me. I think I like my handicapping game. Look, I mean, I think people know what they're getting with me on the show. It's not like super expert analysis, but that's part of the fun. Right. I go based off on feel. I mean, guys like Andy and Evan, and you, of course, you have all the stats, and I have some of them, but I kind of go on feel and spots. I don't know, but but we've been doing pretty well. I feel locked in. It's been all right.
Yeah, I feel the same way. So I'm looking forward to the show. Looking forward to hearing what you have. I know you like to pick a lot, and we'll get to it in a second. Patrick says, and it looks like they're screwing up all the names. Like this says Pat P. This one says Mike Cardo 8665. I'm like, does that mean August 6th 65? Because if you're August 6th, then we had the same birthday, and Evan has that same birthday too. So kind of curious there. But no, but Pat, no, it's the naming has been screwed up these past 2 days. I don't know what's going on here. Anyway, Patrick Pillow says took 6-leg parlay, $1 bonus bet on tight end touchdowns to win $500 for National Tight End Week. Let's get it, fellas.
Yeah, get after it, boys.
This is National Tight End Day or Week, whatever you want to call it. It's seriously, these tight ends take it seriously. They want their touchdowns. I love it. I'm gonna have a touchdown parlay too for tight ends. I feel like everyone's gonna have one, but they're all gonna bust because everyone has one. But I know, right? I do like it. So I'm definitely gonna have one. I'm gonna bet some individuals as well. And I'm not gonna include for example, I was thinking like Harold Fannin for the Browns. I don't trust Dylan Gabriel to make sure Fannin has a touchdown. So him's not going to be included. But I'm going to have the obvious ones. George Kittle. I mean, he started this whole thing. So and he did nothing last week. So I feel like he's obvious. Travis Kelce, of course.
Freiermuth.
The problem is the Steelers have a million tight ends, so you can't really count on
Washington. Take one to Washington. That'd probably be decent odds.
Well, it's Jonnu Smith too. There's too many tight ends in Pittsburgh. You can't do it. You can't do it.
All three touchdowns.
All three.
Oh my God! Could you imagine?
You get good odds on that because it's negative correlation. So I don't know.
Those would probably be very high odds. Do not do that. I'm not going to do that.
Well, I mean, it depends what the odds are. If you're getting 1,000 to 1 or something, obviously you're not going to. But I'm kind of curious to see that. I'm actually going to put that in right now and see what happens. So we have Jonnu Smith, Darnell Washington, and Pat Freiermuth. Where is Freiermuth in this? Let's see. He is okay. So this parlay would pay out 98 to 1. So $10 bet would win you almost $1,000. So.
All right, put me down for 100, huh? Yeah, no. I mean, but hey, actually, that's a pretty good segue into the first game I want to talk about. Anyhow,
okay, we'll get to it. Kincaid, Henry, Pitts, Goddard, Ferguson, and Kraft. I like. Well, Kincaid may not play. Watch out for that. He's limited all week. Henry's a good one. Pitts is a good one. Goddard, especially with Brown out. Yeah. Ferguson like that, and Kraft like that. Yeah. Kincaid's the only question mark because he may not play. Texans hate hosting Kittle this weekend. Yeah, I would I'd be mad if I were them. I don't get any numbers like Mike and Matheson. Yeah, Slew, for some reason, Slew doesn't get any numbers. What's 6 tight? Okay, yeah. Pat answered that one. Test name. Yeah, it's so weird. Everything has changed. Like everything's at something. Theo Johnson. Yeah, I think Theo Johnson's fine. But the problem is they also have Daniel Bellinger, who scored last week. So Otten's a good one because Godwin's out. Otten and Godwin occupy like the same area of the field.
Throw Taysom Hill in there.
He's not really catch touchdowns. He could rush in a touchdown.
Yeah.
So that works. All right. Anyway, you said that you like a pick a lot, and you said before we started recording, it's not quite Y2K pick for you, so maybe like Y1.5K. So what? Where are you going with this crazy pick that we like?
All right. Well, so let's talk about this Packers and Steelers game.
Okay.
Is this line a freaking joke, man? Take dude, take the Steelers money line. There's no way. Green Bay. I as y'all know, I'm a lifelong fan. This team is. I don't think they're very good.
Yeah,
I don't think. I think they're a bunch of frauds. You know, they've scored exactly 27 points in all their wins.
Is that true? Wow, I didn't know that. Wow.
I mean, yeah, like I would say the first game against Detroit.
I was about to hold on. I was about to say, wait, they scored that 40 against Dallas. I forgot they didn't win.
Yeah.
Right. Okay.
All four of their wins, they scored exactly 27 points.
That's insane. Yeah.
It's like, are you freaking joking me? Green Bay against that Jacoby Brissett led Cardinals team? You got to be out of your mind. That was a pathetic display.
It was. Yeah.
That was a pathetic display. And it's like, I know Rodgers is saying there's no revenge. Oh, come on, man. You think there's nothing? And then I guess you can argue, okay, well, LaFleur is going to know, maybe is going to be able to coach to defend against Rodgers because he coached him for so long. Like, there is that angle, but I like Tomlin coming off a loss in a long week. I love the Bengals in that Thursday night game against Pittsburgh. So I thought that was a bad spot for the Steelers. Maybe they were looking ahead to this game. I think the Steelers win in a romp here. I can't believe they're underdogs. I bet is a lot of the public money on them.
Yeah, the public likes the Steelers. There might be sharp money. Let me look. Actually, it's quite a bit of sharp money on the Steelers. Actually, it's not really public money. There's some public money, but not a lot. But it's mostly sharp money.
I mean, just like what are we expecting here? Like what? It's like I keep waiting for Green Bay to get over this hump, and it's like, oh yeah, like they look like I keep saying they're just not good enough or strong enough to like really slam the door on anybody or win by margin. It's like, yeah, they did a couple times at the beginning of the year, but it's just they're so overrated. So I can't believe they're holding the 1 seed right now.
Yeah,
and I hate to get on my own team like this, but but I guess that's probably the general consensus that they're overrated. I think the cat's out of the bag now.
Mm-hmm.
People have kind of caught on. I love the Steelers here. I mean, it would be a little bit different if we were in Green Bay, but I think the Steelers win this game outright. So unless like I'm interested to see how you feel because I definitely want it on the card. I'll be so shocked if the Packers win. Oh, they're so bad.
I think this is Jordan Love's coming out party. I'm just kidding.
What if it were? I mean, then to counter what I was saying, I mean, he's had it circled too.
Well, Christian Watson is coming back, and Aaron Rodgers did call Jordan Love no cookie. Jordan Love when the two were there, so this is a big revenge for Jordan Love. No, like the Packers defense is not good. Like they're not bad, but they're not good either. They're ranked 18th, and they haven't played a good game since week 2. Like after the week 2 game, which by the way was a short travel week for Washington, which you can maybe understand that Washington would not play well, and Washington since then has not played well either. Since week 2, the Packers lost to the Browns. They had that 40-40 tie against the Cowboys, who, by the way, didn't have CeeDee Lamb in that game. And then they had trouble putting Cincinnati away. And then last week they almost lost to Jacoby Brissett. Why are they favored by 3 on the road here? It's just based on reputation. It's based on Michael Parsons. It's based on the record last year, the fact that they were in the playoffs last year. If you just look at how these two teams have played this year, you'd be like, oh, Steelers should be like 1.5 point favorite, right? -2 maybe. Instead they're +3, and I just think that this line is just off. And also Mike Tomlin, great spot for him. He's great after a loss. He's great as an underdog. He's 64-36 against the spread as an underdog, 64%. So if you just bet him blindly as an underdog throughout his whole career, like you would be doing very well. And so I think, and I didn't even mention Rodgers' revenge yet. So this looks like a great spot for the Steelers. I like it a lot. I'm betting it, so it will definitely be on our card.
Okay, great. There we go. Start them off. Starting them off already with the definite.
Yeah, just wondering when Caleb Williams has a coming out party. Oh, he paints his nails with his friends or something.
Yeah. Sometimes catchers used to paint their nails like so the pitchers could see the signs better, but like I don't know, that's for something kind of pretty specific,
Oh yeah. I think this is a very good tee spot for the Steelers. Quarterback playing their former team. They're always almost close games. I would say yes, but like it's so hard to bet teasers nowadays because everything's -130. So that's why we haven't had a teaser yet. On this year, we usually have. We would always have like one teaser per week. So, sometimes I wouldn't like anything, wouldn't have it, but now it's like -130. It's just ridiculous. Like these sites have basically nullified teasers, which I guess they were losing money because they felt the need to do that. If they're making money off teasers, they would have kept it at -120.
Yeah. Oh, so you boycott them because they're 130 and not 120.
It's not like a boycott. It's just bad value to bet it. It's just not worth it.
You're out there protesting the.
Yeah. We won't bet teaser. Won't bet teasers.
One time, I never really did teasers that much. I remember it was opening week of 2017, and I was living in Vegas. I took like a couple, I think I took like 2-3 team teasers, at the Rio Sportsbook. All the games lost.
Oh yeah,
I can't remember what they were, but it was like. This was a nightmare.
Should have taken the pleaser on the other.
The pleaser.
Well, that's a real thing.
What's the pleaser?
Pleaser's the opposite. When you sacrifice points. You never heard of that? That's actually a real thing.
No.
It's that's serious. Like teasers when you get extra points on multiple teams. Pleasers when you give up extra points on teams, and you get great odds on it. It's like
a pleaser.
It would be like Steeler. If you do 6-point pleaser, it would be like Steelers Steelers -3.
Yeah.
And look at this one, Chiefs -18.5. And you would get insane odds on that because it's basically like an alt line parlay, which you could just parlay alt lines. Like you don't really need to do that. But no, this pleaser is a real thing. I
can't believe I never heard of that.
Yeah.
Give me a $50. Give me a $50 pleaser.
Yeah, Vegas, that'd be fun.
Actually,
$50, you might get something sketchy.
A pleaser? I can't believe I've never heard of that.
Yeah,
I mean, it makes. I mean, I understand the concept of parlaying alt lines, but of course. But a pleaser. They used to have these things on Bodog back before when Bovado was Bodog, and it was called like a sweetheart teaser or something. It was
I remember that.
Yeah. The 10 pointers.
Yeah, I don't know why they call it sweetheart. Why?
Yeah, I don't know what it was.
Yeah, I do remember that too.
Yeah, I don't know what the meaning of calling it sweetheart teaser was either, but I guess after that experience that I just told you about, I never really got into the teaser scene. Maybe here and there, but it never really crosses my mind.
Well, Evan makes a killing with the teasers. He does 4-leg teasers, getting 13 points for each one. and it's like I think it's a minus 130, and he does super well with them. I did them with him last year, and I think I only lost once. Like it was pretty awesome. Yeah, and the one time I lost was in the playoffs when we just didn't have that many options. And he even warned me. He's like, yeah, playoffs are tricky because first of all, you don't have that many options, and second, teams are not going to take the foot off the gas. Like if you take like a +5 and make it a +18. Like the opposing team may just keep going, because they're not going to sacrifice potential loss, So
Right.
so that I should have listened to Evan there, but otherwise, like every single 13-point teaser hit, it was great. So
wow, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome.
I wish he is only one sportsbook that offers that. Like there are others that offer 13-point teasers, but you have to pay like an arm and a leg for that. It's like minus 175 or something instead of like minus 130.
Well, if I was going to do a teaser or a sweetheart teaser, then I definitely take the Steelers. I really like +9. Yeah, I mean, what's going to change with the Packers? Like they're just like we keep thinking they're going to be like a juggernaut, but like it hasn't happened yet. Like what's gonna change?
Yeah,
a game that has so much meaning. So anyhow,
Bovada still calls them that. Interesting. They banned me on Bovada, so I can't. I don't have access to that.
Well, all the sweethearts will be happy to hear that.
Yeah, I know. I remember seeing that. I was like always intrigued by it. Like, oh, it's sweetheart. This sounds nice.
Sounds nice.
It does. It's like
Yeah, it's like they're really put some tender love and care into this. When they're taking our bets, we really. Yeah. We appreciate you. You're a little sweetheart. We'll give you some extra points here.
Yeah, it felt nice. Yeah, like I was in my mid-20s. I was living on my own as a bachelor.
A hopeless romantic,
yeah, exactly. Sometimes a little lonely. Like, and I say, sweetheart teaser. Oh, that's very nice.
Yeah, we like to feel appreciated when we're placing our wagers.
Yeah. You get this warm feeling inside when I place the bet. Great.
Oh my god, I've lost my mind. The freaking sweetheart teaser. I'm sorry, man. I haven't thought of that in like decades.
I know.
I haven't thought of the sweetheart teaser in like almost 15 years.
It's been a while. Yeah, it's been a long time. Luckily, not so lonely that I need a sweetheart teaser anymore. So
I was thinking about a time. I remember when I worked at. This is how different the technology was. This was, I think, 06 or summer 07 maybe. It was a Detroit Pistons playoff game, and I placed a bet on the Pistons to cover. Can't remember who they were playing even. It might have been Cleveland, but it doesn't matter. But and then I went to work all night, and then I was like, I texted you. I was like, hey, like, did the Pistons cover? And you're like, yeah, they did. Congrats. But it's like that's how I had to find, because we didn't have internet on our phones then.
Oh yeah,
I would have had to wait to get home. Isn't that crazy to think about?
Yeah,
so, like you came through in the clutch. I was like, yeah, like that's how you had to do it. I was like, yo, can you go on ESPN.com? Are you near a computer?
Yeah, my dad used to call me when he was working at night, and like he's like, oh, what's the Sixers score? So that happened. I mentioned before on the show that we had a channel 57 that just ran the scores. That's all it did. Like, there was nothing else, like no commentary. It just ran the scores through every sport. And I remember this was like, I think I was in high school, or maybe I think I was probably in high school. And my cousin and I found a phone, and it showed the scores of sports scores. I'm like, this is the coolest thing ever. Like, that's all it did. That's all it did. And, like, we didn't have any access to it, like, or anything. We couldn't make any calls, but like, it just ran the sports scores. And like, oh, this is so sweet. Yeah.
Remember, I used to watch the headline news sports ticker back in the 90s.
Yeah.
Used
to actually when I was a freshman or sophomore in college, ESPN came out with an app where you can download the bottom line and put the bottom line on your computer. And I remember I used to do that. Yeah.
Wow.
Obviously not now. It's super easy to find it, but yeah.
Wow. Yeah, it's fun. Like, I remember like telling some of my buddies, I knew a guy in State College that would like a bookie, and like he'd call me on Sunday mornings, and I'd be there with like a notepad and a pencil or like a pen, and he'd be like, okay, like Packers are -3. Like, he'd read off all the lines
Mm.
to me, and I'd be like, okay, like I'll call you back, and then I call him back and put my plays in. And
Yep.
then like I told my buddies that, who are much young, like 9 years younger than me, and because I'm getting older, and they
Mm.
were like, these guys are like 30. They only like ever did it like on the apps, I guess. It was like,
Yeah.
yeah, I used to have to call a guy.
Yeah.
It's kinda,
When I started playing fantasy for the first time, it's 94. It was middle school, and I used to have to phone in my lineup. I used to have to call my friend Joel, like,
wow.
hey, I'm starting this quarterback and starting these running backs, these receivers. Um, and like, it was funny because he used to like question my decisions. and, like, and I think I would have, like, obviously, I was 12
Yeah,
back then, so I didn't know much.
yeah.
And so I had my first year, I had John Elway and Jeff Hostetler as my quarterbacks. And like Hostetler had this hot streak going on.
Mm.
And I'm like, I'm going to start Hostetler. And he's like, are you sure about that? It's like, can you imagine that? Like sending your lineup now, like if you click on
Yeah.
ESPN, it's like, are you sure about that?
Yeah.
Van Henderson,
It's like hey, just set the lineup, man. Don't ask questions.
yeah. And then we wouldn't know who won until Monday at lunch. They used to bring in the Philadelphia Daily News, and we just look at stat. Actually, the Monday Night Football, so I guess it was Tuesday. He used to bring in the newspapers and he used to count up the stats, and people used to watch just to make sure he didn't make any mistakes. So
wow.
yeah, we found out Tuesday, or sometimes you do on Monday, but like we found out on Tuesday if we won or not. Like we'd had to wait. Like
That's wild.
Yeah,
That's so cool. That's so cool.
Yeah.
Wow, it's funny. It's like so long ago, but it doesn't really seem like it. I mean, that was like, 2006. That was 19 years ago, man. Oh my god.
Well, I mean, this is 94, so it's 31 years ago, and I don't know. It was 31 before that. It was 63. That's when JFK was assassinated. So.
Oh my god, man. Yeah, time's really going fast here. But anyhow, how about so I got one with the Steelers there. What you got for me?
Well, I got some comments here.
Oh, okay. Perfect. Yeah.
What other team besides the Steelers are your best bet? We'll get to that in a second. Deshaun Watson's a huge fan of pleasers. Great.
Pleasers.
Hopefully not the $50 variety. Hope he pays a little bit more. Got offered Bijan and Adunze for CD and Judkins. So I would say Bijan has a big just big upside here because he's already had his bye. In fact, Bijan and Adunze both had their buys. CD and Judkins have not. So that is you get these guys for 7 games instead of 6. So I think if you need the receiver, obviously, well, I guess it's running back and receiver for running back receiver. So I guess that doesn't matter. I would lean toward Bijan and Adunze personally. So, all right. And then Commanders versus KC. There's Redskins versus KC. Rashee Rice incoming 30+ point fantasy performance. I could see that, except for it's National Tight End Week, so Kelsey could do something. Yeah.
I love National Tight End Week.
Yeah, got on it. They tried to make National Running Back Week last week. The NBC didn't quite work out.
Oh,
not quite the it doesn't have the same feel to it. Like there's the running backs are always glorified, like tight ends not always. And
they should have their day in the sun.
Yeah, exactly. Like soon enough they're gonna be like a National Quarterbacks Day. It's like, come on.
And then it's gonna be like placeholder.
Yeah.
Do you think how hard would that be to do though? Imagine all the pressure, like to just be the holder. Like if you screw that up, like you're expected to do it perfect every time. If you don't, they hate you. But like no one will say anything if you do it right.
Right. Yeah. It's the thing is there's no holder position in terms of like this guy got signed because he's the holder. Like there's always there's gonna be a designated holder on the team that like
I know that. No, I know that. But
you could lose, like if you screw up as a holder, you could lose your job as a holder, but you're not gonna lose your job because you probably are doing something else on the team. We are certainly doing something else on the team.
Well, it's usually the punter, right?
Sometimes the backup quarterback. It could be anyone. Like it doesn't have to be anyone. So it's not a job. There's no like the top holder in free agency this year, and like that's not a real thing. You know what I mean?
Don't you think they should have? Like, you ever think about this? I mean, I guess at the end of the day, sure, we've seen botch snaps, but it's not something that happens on on a field goal or extra point. It doesn't happen that regularly, but why don't they have like a shorthanded like wide receiver do that position? Like if they're the people that can catch the ball the best, like how hard can it be? Would it really be that? I mean, especially if, like if you're a wide receiver, you got to have good hands at least on some level. I always wondered that.
I don't know.
I was a long snapper the one year I played football. I could really snap it back there. So maybe I could be. I still have a future in special teams. On some kind of special team.
I just Googled why are holders mostly backup quarterbacks. And it just said, did you mean why are hoarders mostly backup quarterbacks? So like, no. And then it said, the AI said, holders are often backup quarterbacks because the position is practical, as the quarterback is already skilled at receiving snaps. There you go. And has a good understanding of the offense.
True.
So there you go. There you go. There's your answer.
But I still feel like it's a little bit different from other snaps. Like it's similar to shotgun, but it's different trajectory, it seems. So
as long as they don't have a receiver who always drops passes as the holder, like we came at Quentin Johnston back in the day, like before this year as the holder, that'd be a disaster.
Yeah, but I mean, like if you put like Jerry Rice there, it's like or like any like the most shorthanded receivers you can think of.
Jacoby Myers didn't drop a single pass last year, so I'm sure he could do it.
Put him in there.
Yeah.
I'd hate to do that job, but anyhow.
Yeah, but again, it's not like a job. It's like it's not like it's like you're not hired to do it. It's not like you become a holder in the NFL. It's just like
I know.
And you're just a holder now. So does that mean Tyler Warren will finish as tight end because National Tight End Week may eclipse his first 20-point fantasy week? It could, yeah. Warren is one of the tight ends you would want this week for sure.
I'll start Warren and Kraft. Yeah, try it out.
In DraftKings, I'll definitely go double tight end. This is the week to do it. I usually don't like it, but this is the week to do it. Although my friend Mike got third in the DraftKings $1 million contest, running double tight end that one year. It was 2019, I believe. It was week 12, I think, of 2019. He finished third. That was, I told the story before. That was the year, or that was the week where he was ahead. He was on a plane. He was first place.
Oh God!
He's winning the $1 million, and like suddenly he went down to $40,000, and it said like it was the last game running, and it said safety, and it said or something like that, and he thought it was, sometimes when you kick the ball off and they take a knee in the end zone, sometimes NFL will glitch and it'll say safety, and then it'll change like a minute later, and it never changed. And he was just like losing his mind on the plane because he couldn't watch it. And like he went down he was winning $1 million, and it said down to 40,000.
That's horrible.
So what happened was in the last game running, the Chiefs scored a touchdown, and he had the Raiders scored a touchdown. The two guys behind him had Chiefs defense, so it was actually a good thing. And then on the extra point was blocked and returned for 2 by the Chiefs, and the two guys behind him both had Chiefs defense. They moved up ahead of him. And so brutal. And I actually interviewed him on this channel, and he's like, you know what? He's like, if you told me before I'd win $40,000, I'd be happy. But he's like, it's like hard to
I mean, for sure you're going to be happy, but like that's isn't that crazy? Like you could, because if I won that on a DraftKings contest, I'd be pleased as punch,
Yeah, well, yeah, you say that right now, but if you were winning $1 million,
that's what I'm saying. It would absolutely sting. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
But all right, what you got for us here?
This is the last question, and then we'll get to Jason, receiver 1, rest of the season. I mean, Puka Nacua could be it when he returns. It could be him. But yeah, Jason's either 1 or 2 for sure. Okay. Let's go with my single remaining 5-unit bet, and I'll get to the next one after this one. Just because there's an injury concern in the other one. But let's begin with Dolphins at Falcons. Falcons are -7.5. Miami is just a complete disaster. They offensively, they can't block. Tua is saying he can't see receivers. Like, why didn't you throw the Waddle? I can't see him. Okay. What's going on here? They just lost Darren Waller for the year, so they already were without Tyreek Hill. Now no Waller. Achan's the only real option there because Tua can't get the ball to Waddle. And there's the protection is just done. They Tua doesn't have any protection. And then on the other side of the ball, you have a defense that allowed 206 to Doodle, 124 to Vidal, and 3 touchdowns to Quinshon Judkins. And now they go against Bijan Robinson. Good luck. Good luck, Dolphins. This is a Dolphins team that, the quarterback threw his teammates under the bus. The coach benched the quarterback last week, and he went to Ewers, and Ewers is even worse. They lost 31-6 to the Browns. Like, wait, what is that? How are they going to compete in this game? They've been blown out multiple times this year. Atlanta, in their 2 of their 3 wins, have been by double digits, including against the Bills. So, I like the Falcons here. I think they'll win easily. I'm going to bet the -20.5 alt line. What do you think about this game? Oh, plus Atlanta coming off a loss too, by the way.
Right. I really like them too. But and by the way, great call on the Browns. I had a large wager on the Browns, the largest wager I've made in some time.
Nice.
So I appreciate it. But that I thought that one was going to be pretty easy, and it was.
Yeah.
And I had Browns defense special teams touchdown too, because I figured.
Nice.
It was the great call there. And as we had it on our card, and I didn't really think much of that game before I talked to you, so I appreciate the insight.
Mm-hmm.
The only thing that gives me any hesitation here is I just want to remember what happened to the Falcons when they played the Panthers, and it's that knocked me out of a survivor pool. Like they really, no pun intended, laid an egg. Yeah. Do you think that could happen again?
Well, they laid their egg last week against the Niners. They're not going to lay 2 eggs.
Yeah. Yeah, because, fooled me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, you're not going to fool me again.
Yeah.
I don't know. Otherwise, I agree with everything he said. I really like the Falcons too. I guess, and I'm good with putting them on the card. I just want to caution you. Does that give you any reason to hesitate any further now? I mean, the 7.5 doesn't really scare me at all. But do you think what if they just go in and because nobody expected that to happen in that game against the Panthers, and I was high on this Falcons team coming in. I still think they're decent. I don't know. I'm worried that they are they capable of doing that again.
But they did it last week. That was their egg. They're coming off in both the eggs they laid this year. They were coming off national TV wins.
Oh, okay.
They beat the Vikings on national TV, Sunday Night Football, and then they laid an egg against Carolina. They beat the Bills on national TV Monday night, and then they laid an egg against the Niners. They're coming off a loss again. And by the way, the last time they laid an egg, they came back and beat Washington pretty handily. And then now they're coming off a loss. They're 3-3. If they lose this, they're under 500. I don't see why. I don't see why they would lay an egg here. It's a great matchup and everything. So,
okay. All right, let's put them on the card. I mean, I really like them too. I'm just more playing.
Really like
yeah. I was just kind of more playing devil's advocate than anything. I don't want to, even when we're very much in agreement, I don't want to be yep, let's go. I just want to make sure we break it down at least a little bit.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah, but I mean, I don't really have much to add other than that. I mean, I echo everything he said, and I feel like we've read this Dolphins team for the most part pretty well this year.
Oh yeah,
for or against.
Yeah, I mean these miserable teams, you just fade them, and you're going to win most of the time. They're just dysfunctional,
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we can put them on the definite.
Over Lamb, yeah, I think I'd have Lamb third. By the way, Lamb after this week, Lamb will still have his bye coming up, whereas JSN and Nakua won't have their bye. Daniel Kelly had Ewers as a first round grade. Oh man, that's pretty rough. Yeah, not so good on the road. This is at home. Yeah, Atlanta good at home. It's true. Atlanta will lose the next 2 weeks against New England and Indy. Yeah, I mean they're going to be underdogs in this game. So, all right, what's your next game here?
Oh, let's see what we got here. Okay. Sorry, I gotta.
How dare you?
How do you? What's going on with this Bucks line? I know they've got injuries in that, but
yes.
Look, here's the thing. I really like the Bucks, but I'm hesitant because it seems too easy. But I've backed the Saints team. I've been pretty good at reading Saints too this year. I took them on my bookie, my super contest card a couple times. I took them when they played the Bills. I took them when they beat the Giants. So I've been on. I feel like I've handicapped them pretty closely. I don't know. I think their luck is. I know I've come on here many times and said, hey, they've hung in there, and they have in a lot of games. But I don't know. At the end of the day, that's true. They're still a really bad team. I don't see, even with the injuries, I think this is going to be an easy win and cover for Tampa. I was almost tempted to take them in Survivor, but I could probably find easier teams. But I like the Bucks here, but I don't know how you.
So this was my other 5-unit pick, but as I said, I have some concern with it now, and the concern is twofold. One, and maybe this is not the other one is much a much bigger deal. This one is Mayfield. I saw a report come in saying Mayfield was cleared to play in this game. I'm like, cleared to play. And I looked at the injury report. He was limited, then full, but then limited again. So he got downgraded today with a knee injury that I remember he suffered against the Lions on Monday Night Football. And he didn't run in that game, which I noticed because I considered betting Mayfield over rushing yards. That's why something I like to do. Live bet mobile quarterbacks over rushing yards when they're behind, because first of all, they're not gonna like the running plays that they usually do will just translate into more passing plays, so there's greater chance they run, and also out of desperation they're going to run more too. The only reason I hesitated is because I remember Detroit's great defensive ends were able to hold in Lamar Jackson really well in that Monday night game. And so I thought, I'll pass in this one. But Mayfield didn't run at all, didn't even try. And I think maybe it's because he banged his knee or something like that. I do remember that he banged his knee. So he doesn't have an injury designation. So he's going to play, but I don't know if he's 100%. So that's one thing. The reason, I think the real reason why this line is dropping is because Vita Vea, one of the best nose tackles in the NFL. He's DNP Thursday and Friday. He's questionable. And that's huge here, because my argument here I have a couple of arguments, but my main matchup argument for this game is that whenever the Saints can't run the ball, they get into big trouble because Rattler is a disaster. When he has to do a lot, like Rattler, we saw last week, Rattler threw 3 picks. He just turns into a terrible quarterback. When he can benefit from running and has short yardage, then, he can look somewhat decent. But when he has to throw and he's under siege a lot, and by the way, the Saints, they lost their center. He just turns into this turnover machine. Like we saw that against Seattle. He got destroyed there. We saw it last week. Chicago, top 10 run defense. They were able to limit the Saints, and then Rattler threw those 3 picks. And so I thought heading into this game, I was like, okay, the Saints aren't going to be able to run against Vita Vea, right? And so it's going to be another disaster for Rattler, kind of like he had last year in this matchup. Tampa beat the Saints 51-27. And so I'm like, okay, this is great. But now suddenly Vea may not play. And Tampa without Vea is a completely different defense, not even close. The last time they didn't have Vea, Sincere McCormick ran for 124 against them. And that was, granted, that was December of last year, but still, that's how important Vea is to this team. So if Vea is not playing, New Orleans looks better, and that's why this line is dropping. It's just been dropping for 4.5 down to 3.5, and it's the sharp money on New Orleans being like, and I assume it's like, okay, Vea is not playing, completely different defense for Tampa, plus short week travel. It's I didn't post this yet. Because it's my Saturday notes. I was going to post it after the show, but I've dropped this from 5 units to 2 units. And if Vea is out, if he's an inactive, then it's not going to be even a play for me.
Oh wow,
yeah.
Okay, because what is the line? 3.5, and what are we getting a better number or something? Because I think I saw. No,
it's 4. We're getting 4 in the. Oh no, sorry, 3.5, and then circa. It's 4 in the super contest.
Okay. Well, yeah, I mean, would you have any interest since we're getting a better number too? I guess was the other reason I brought it up.
Well, it's the same number now, so it's 3.5.
Okay.
That wasn't the case yesterday when Evan and I were talking about this. It flashed 3.5, then went to 4, and then now it's 3.5. And I assume it's because of Vea. It has to be or if maybe someone's afraid of Mayfield too. But That has to be it. And so I vowed not to make a lot of changes because changes really screwed me last week, and like every single change I made was backfired. But I said my caveat was like, unless there's a serious injury, I won't make changes. I'll limit it to one change per week. And Vea is just obviously a serious injury, one of the better defensive players in the NFL. The Tampa without him is just completely different. So that's I worry about it. Now maybe if a report comes out tomorrow he's playing and he's feeling better, then we could put it back on the card. The problem is we have to submit by 1:00. So
right.
Yeah, it's that's the advantage. Put disadvantage of that. Plus, like we don't even know if they're going to have any news tomorrow. So, that's my worry. I ran that by Evan via text before the show, and he says he's not worried about it. So, but Evan doesn't. He doesn't react to injury reports like I do. So yeah, I don't know. I don't know how do you feel about this? No, like hearing this news.
I like it less, of course, but I mean, maybe we can find other games before we can just stick it in the maybe for now.
Okay, I'll put it in the maybe.
Sure, certainly it's discouraging, but let's see how the rest of these games fall.
Okay.
As far as.
All right, I will put this Tampa -3.5 in the maybe. So we have 2 definites and 1 maybe. Ibuka also dropping 30+ against New Orleans. I hope so. I haven't so many best ball lineups. Who do you guys like better this week, Pickens or Devontae Smith? AJB is out. Devontae Smith's a monster when Brown is out. Like that's he's so good. Like, and it's really like the thing is like the Eagles don't have another receiver outside of that. Like they only really have 2 receivers. Like Jahan Dotson's their third guy. Jahan Dotson stinks. So it's going to be a lot of Devontae Smith and Dallas Goedert. What is it? I feel like I'm like in an airplane. What is that noise?
I don't know. You kind of went in and out for a while.
Oh, was that me? I thought that you were moving around or something.
Oh, maybe. I don't know. Sorry. Can you hear it now?
No, the noise went away. If you guys in the chat, maybe tell us if you heard that noise. Maybe it's just me. Maybe I don't know. It's interesting to hear. But no, I Scorpion. I like Devontae Smith for sure. I actually drafted a lot of Devontae Smith this year in like the 6th, 7th round. I didn't like that he was going in the 4th round early in the summer, and Kenny and I actually had a debate about that. But when he fell to like 6th, 7th round, he was 8th round at one point. Like I was like, oh, let me get this guy. So yeah, he's great without AJ Brown. He's shown that before. Okay, so and plus like Pickens is going to have to go against Patrick Surtain too. Just don't forget about that. So anyway, let's get to speaking. Well, let's just stick with the Eagles then, because we're talking about that. The Eagles are going to be on my. The Giants are going to be on my personal card, not the Eagles.
Oh wow!
Do you like the Eagles there? What is this reaction?
No, I don't want to cut you off. Yeah, I mean, I don't really have a strong feeling either way, but I don't know.
Okay,
I like the Eagles. I'm leaning Eagles though.
You're leaning Eagles. Well, okay. Here's my argument for the Giants. So the Eagles haven't won by more than 7 all year, and they're 7.5. So they're going to have to do something they haven't done yet all year in this game. They're not going to have AJ Brown, which we've seen in 2020. What was that? 2023. When they don't have AJ Brown, even though Devontae Smith's great, like their offense is not as good. And we saw what Brown and Smith were able to do against Minnesota last week. And now they're going to be missing half of that. Now I know Goddard's still there, so it's not like they're going to be shut down offensively, but still they're missing a big part of their offense. But they're also missing another part with Cam Jurgens out. The center's also going to be out. So this is a team that already can't block, and now they're going to be missing their best interior blocker. So it's like, okay, what's going to happen here? Like Saquon Barkley is going to get even fewer rushing lanes to run through. Like Barkley can't run, the Eagles can't run, and that's why they can't hold these leads. Like they get out to these leads, and they just go 3 and out because they can't run. Like against Tampa, big lead, they can't run. They blew the lead, and they almost blew the lead. They won by 8. Against the Broncos, they were up 17-3. They couldn't run, and they blew a lead. They lost the game. Against the Vikings, they almost blew it. Wentz almost came back and beat them. They couldn't run. Against a horrible Minnesota run defense that gave up 115 to Kamani Vidal. Like Barkley could not run against that Minnesota run defense, and now they're going to be missing their center. And so even if the Eagles come out to the lead here, like they're not going to be able to hold it. The Giants are going to come back. The Giants play with fire with Jackson Dart, Cam Scatterbo. Like this is a team that is playing with a lot of energy right now. Every single game they played ever since Jackson Dart has come out, they've really been impressive. Now I know they've lost to the Saints, but that was a game where they had 5 turnovers in a row. But they were off 14-3 in that game. So turnovers are weird, fluky. So like I don't know, maybe that happens again. But like they were in Denver and they were up 19-0. Like that was impressive. They blew out the Eagles 34-17. It's not a fluke. And they beat the Chargers. And granted, the Chargers lost Joe Alt in the 8th play of the game, but still. This team has been playing a lot better, and the Eagles, I feel like the Eagles are like this last year's Chiefs, where they keep scraping by like 3-point wins, 7-point wins, 4-point wins, but they don't cover these spreads, like these 7+ touchdown spreads. They just don't get there, and they're just not as good as they were because they can't block and they can't run the ball. So. Yeah, I like the Giants here. It's not like one of my top plays, but like I said, it's gonna be in my card. So, what's your counter here? Why do you like the Eagles?
Well, I mean, I'm kind of torn. You know, my hesitation, and I like, of course, you're right. This Giants, this Jackson Dart led Giants squad is exciting to watch. They have looked really solid at times. I'm just interested to see. I don't know if I'm confident enough to bet them yet, just based off such an emotional loss coming off like that. Like I wonder how they'll respond. Maybe it'll just continue. It'll pick up right where it left off. But I really like the analogy there you used about like the Eagles kind of being like the new Chiefs. Yeah. I think that I mean seems pretty accurate so far. But I mean, I hear some people calling this a revenge game for a couple weeks ago. I don't know if I'd go that far, but I can tell you this: the Eagles are definitely going to try a little bit harder than they did. I don't know if it can get much worse. Hurts had a terrible game that first go around.
Yeah. A revenge game. So there have been 5 instances where a team lost to a divisional opponent by 17 plus and then faced them again the same year. And those teams are 2-3 against the spread. So it's a very small sample size, but it's just like I don't think it's automatic. And by the way, teams that came off of I'm trying to type this in. Teams coming off games in which they're up by 17 plus entering the fourth quarter and end up losing. They are hold on. I think they're 5-2 against the spread. But I'm trying to. Oh, I'm typing this wrong. Hold on. I believe they're 5-2 against the spread. Sorry, no, actually. So I did that as of 2002. So as since 1989, which is as far as the database goes. So teams coming off games in which they were up by 17 entering the fourth quarter and then end up losing. The next week they are 13-7 against the spread. So they tend to rebound. You know, not every time, but almost about 65%. Yeah, actually exactly 65%. So, yeah, I don't know if that changes your opinion. You know, obviously every single situation is different. And I discussed this last night with Evan. In 2022, there were 2 instances of that. The Ravens blew a huge lead to the Dolphins, and then they came back and clobbered the Patriots. But remember that Colts game with Matt Ryan against the Vikings when they were up? I don't know what the score is. It's like 35-3 or something. And then the Vikings stormed back and won. It was on a Saturday afternoon. And then, the next week the Colts did not cover, but they had to start Nick Foles. So that's a very old Nick Foles. So that didn't go well. And I'm seeing last year the Saints blew a big lead apparently. And then they played Tampa and they lost 26-9. No, that was 2 years ago. Sorry. They lost 26-9. I forget what happened in that game, but so yeah, anyway, it's 13-7. So I don't know if that changes your opinion.
I mean, I don't know, just the spot for the Giants. I have to see some more of them, like, you know, with such a young team. I don't know. I want to see how they kind of respond after the loss that they took. So yeah. I don't know. I mean, maybe you could convince me if we don't have anything else, but
okay.
You can maybe convince me. Yeah.
All right, well, put on the maybe pile. Why not? So Love T says Redskins going to get throttled by my Chiefs. Maybe we'll get to that game in a bit.
What's up, Love to Eat? How's
Yeah.
it going?
Drew says I feel like Saquon can't do this game. He's generally cooked. Giants defense coordinator, Giants, yeah, it's so bad. The problem with Saquon is he's second to last in the NFL this year in yards before contact. Ashton Genty is the worst yards before contact. He actually has negative yards before contact. Saquon Barkley, I think, is like almost negative. Like he's just getting hit in the backfield. Like there's no blocking on this team. And like I said, now they don't have their best interior blocker. Like the only good interior blocker they have is Cam Jurgens. He's out. So it's going to be even worse. What's your dad's take on VJ Edgecombe? Well, I asked him because this is maybe this is a stupid purchase, but I bought a VJ Edgecombe rare card for I had a $60 off coupon, so it was it would have been $230. I spent $170 for it. So these rare contests, they pay out $3,000 to first place, and there are only 400 people in them. So I actually have a lineup this weekend that is Nikola Jokic, Luka Doncic, Anthony Davis, VJ Edgecombe, and unfortunately Rudy Gobert to kind of fill out the salary requirements. It's kind of like the DraftKings contest where you have to like fill out the requirement for the salary. Gobert's kind of like crapping the bed today, but he does it's for a weekend contest, so I get one more chance out of it. But yeah, Doncic is going nuts today. But anyway, so my point is that I actually I sent my dad a picture of the card that I bought. Maybe I'll pull it up here. And so he goes, he calls me and he's like, this card is going to be worth thousands of dollars in the future. I'm like, yeah, you think so? And he's like, VJ Edgecombe is the next Michael Jordan. That's what.
Wow.
So let me pull up this VJ Edgecombe card here. These silver ones are free. There we go. I won it for $233. Here it is. It's a nice looking card, right? Yeah.
Oh, we love that.
Yeah. So I had to buy it. Anyway,
should we take the Sixers to win all this year?
No. No. Embiid's not going to play in the playoffs. Come on, we know that already.
Yeah.
Jokic sucked the other night. He couldn't throw in the ocean. Well, yeah, maybe, but we had over 11.5 rebounds for Jokic, and then he got there in 13. After his debut. After. Not so much before, but definitely after. Giants defense line is very good. Yeah, their secondary is trash, but their defense line is really good for sure.
Remember when the Sixers signed Andrew Bynum and they had the billboards all around the city, like "Welcome Andrew Bynum," and he never put on the Sixers uniform?
Yeah, it's terrible. I gave you crap on Egbuka. Millen, great. He looks good now. It wasn't. Look, I always liked Egbuka as a prospect. I always had him in the first round. The grade I gave was like they spent way too many resources on receiver. And like they did make a Millen grade. They did make a Millen move. It was the Godwin signing. So that was, it was like kind of like when I gave the Falcons a Millen for signing or drafting Penix. There was a Millen grade involved. It was the Cousins signing. And so like you can't really assume a signing is going to be terrible 1 month after they make it. I mean, you can like kind of guess, but I didn't like the Godwin signing when it happened, but I didn't realize it was that bad where like you couldn't play until November, So no, I as soon as that was clear, I liked him a lot more, and he was my number one value, and I drafted him more than any other receiver in best ball. So, and I also bet him at 40 to 1 to win Offensive Rookie of the Year, which looked great for a while, but now Jackson Dart's the favorite, but he's still number 2. Remember the Cavs practice when Bynum shot the ball every time he touched it, regardless of where he was in the court. It's a class act that Bynum.
Yeah.
so good. All right, you're up with the next pick. Where are we going?
All right, so just kind of hear me out. I just want to see if you can kind of sway me one way or the other, because I kind of have an interesting feeling about this. Okay, let's look at this Jets-Bengals game.
Oh, God. Okay. Oh, God.
Okay, so here's the thing. Like, how funny, or isn't it funny how quickly things can change? Just a few weeks ago with Browning, the stick a fork in the Bengals. They looked absolutely awful. And then, yeah, and look, obviously, like Flacco had a great game against the Steelers. But I mean, do we really think that this is just going to happen week in and week out? I mean, this team has a lot of problems still. I mean, obviously Chase had an incredible performance on that Thursday night, but I mean, what's the like? Are we just going to we think the Joe Flacco is going to be that good every single game now? Like, are we going to change our tune that quick? I don't know. Maybe the answer is yes. Maybe the answer is yes. But I mean, I guess you have to ask yourself that. Like, I just feel like everyone's jumping on. And here's the thing, though, like, because I am leaning towards the Jets, but I don't know if I can do it, man. This team is bad. This team is bad, but it's just like this really. This feels like a public overreaction, not in the same way, but like in the same arena of like the one Cam Newton game where he was great, and then the next week they got clobbered. Not because not that the Cam Newton's thing was getting back with the Panthers was similar to the Flacco situation, but like I don't know, a letdown in that same arena. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't know, but at the same time, geez, if it was like any other like D team, this
right.
That's the only thing, man. This Jets team is bad. And how many times are we going to go? We've taken them a couple times, I think, on our various cards on Circa and our MyBookie shared card. It's just how am I going to feel if they have a repeat? Flacco looks amazing, throws for 300 yards, and they lose like 30-6. And there I am with the Jets pick in my hand. Can I really do that? But I don't know. I think this is maybe an overreaction spot.
So you said that in the show to start the show, you said that you're really good at reading spots and stuff like that. And this, I think this is a great example of that. It's a great spot for the Jets. The problem is the Jets are awful, so it may not mean anything. And like, I was gonna mention this and horrors. Chris, I assume this is Chris. It says, please have Evan reach out to Quacky. Jets probably cover, but they are a money pit. This is, I don't know if you heard my show our show with Evan last night.
Yeah. No, I know Evan said you had to be crazy. Now, I'm not saying I'm going to take him, but I am leaning that way just from feel. I don't have any stats to back it up. In fact, the stats probably are all favor the Bengals here, but I don't know. This spot seems weird, and it's kind of like the emotional swings. It's just like, we're just going to forget all the problems that the Bengals do have still.
Yeah.
Over a Joe Flacco performance. Like, we just think he's going to get, maybe he does have like I said, maybe he stays in there until, imagine that he keeps them afloat until Burrow gets back and they win the Super Bowl. That'd be freaking hilarious. No, but I mean,
with that defense, oh my God, that'd be crazy.
Yeah. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And their defense, in their defense, did have they had some takeaways last game, and they had a more opportunistic performance, if you will. So that was probably one of their best defensive performances of the year, despite still giving up 31 points.
Yeah.
But as far as takeaways go, but I don't know, man. I just feel like after and look, they played Green Bay close too. I took the Bengals on my Super Contest card when they played the Packers.
Yeah.
But I think that's a little more testament to the Packers. I don't know. If it were almost any other team than the Jets, I would take that other team. I don't think I can pull the trigger, man. But like, I do think it's a Jets spot. So I'm just kind of not trying to talk you into it necessarily, but I'm interested to know what you think.
So on one hand, this kind of reminds me, this game reminds me of just the line and the strength of these teams. It reminds me of Giants at Cowboys in week 2, where you had an F Giants team with Russell Wilson, not so much now. They're not an F team now, but with Russell Wilson, I believe they were playing at a D team in Dallas. And that was a back and forth game, high scoring. Neither defense could stop the other. It went 40-37 in overtime. And I feel like if I had any faith in the Jets offense, it could sort of be that way, because the Bengals defense is terrible and the Jets defense is terrible, 26th. And by the way, they're not going to have Sauce Gardner in this game. So no one to shadow Jamar Chase. So it's, Joe Flacco, you asked if Joe Flacco could continue this. he'll continue this for 1 week, at the very least. I don't know who they play in week 9. I know week 10 is their bye week. Week 9 they play against the Bears. Bears defense has been better lately, so maybe this stops against the Bears in week 9. But at least this week, Flacco should do very well. And then remember, this is one of Flacco's former teams, so sort of revenge for that. It's not like he was there forever, but still. But with the Jets, I mentioned that if I had any faith in their offense. First of all, First of all, they wanted to go back to Tyrod, but he's questionable, so they might have to go back to Fields. Second, Garrett Wilson's out, so they don't have a downfield threat. And not only is Garrett Wilson's out, Josh Reynolds, their number 2 receiver, he is. Let me make sure I get this correct. On the injury report, Josh Reynolds was he was downgraded to DNP today on Friday. And then Mason Taylor, by the way, who has a fantastic matchup. We saw what the Steelers did with their tight ends against the Jets or against the Bengals. Mason Taylor, National Tight End Day, no less, is.
Yep. I was just gonna say.
He was full on Wednesday, but then DNP on Thursday, limited Friday. So both these guys are questionable, and Wilson's out. So they could be down their top 3 receiving threats on top of their offense already struggling. So you have that, and then on top of that, you have the owner coming out and saying bad things about the quarterback. Who's to say the team just quits on the owner and says, F you, we're at least for 1 game. Now the players can't quit for several games because they need further paychecks, but right after the game, after they hear this from their owner, where's the motivation to play hard for this team? This 0-7 team where the coach is clueless. They have no hope. I don't know, man. We're in a spot where we could potentially win $1 million. We're 21-14. We're doing well. Are we really going to back the Jets here?
No,
maybe they do cover. Maybe they do. But to back a Group F team like this late in the year, I don't think we can do it.
No, I agree. If I had to take a side, though, I would take the Jets. But
gun to my head, I agree. I think the Jets could have a chance at a backdoor cover, but I think they would need the backdoor cover to cover. You know what I mean? Yeah. I don't think it's gonna be close the whole game. They could get there at the end, nonsense touchdown at the end. So
all right, let's eliminate that. I had a feeling that would happen, but I was kind of intrigued by it.
Yeah, I said, I'm allowed 1 change now without major injury. This is the 1 change. I initially had Jets for 2 units. I dropped it completely. No.
What happens if you do more than 1 change? Do you have to go to the principal's office or something?
Yeah, I'll be suspended from school.
Detained.
Yeah, exactly. So you definitely don't want that.
Suspended from school.
Willie Beamish style. I'll be sitting in detention. I'll have a frog in my desk, and I'll try to sneak off to the nurse's office. The nurse has big hands, and but then the bully will get me in the hallway, and he'll flush me down the toilet.
Oh, no.
Shout out to anyone who understands what I'm talking about. Willie Beamish, one of the best games of all time. By the way, you should play on stream after the football season's over.
Yeah, you're telling me about that.
If you play that on stream, I will join you on stream if you would have me.
Wow, okay.
Yeah.
All right, I'll consider it.
I love that game so much. It's so fun. Jets, Dolphins, Saints are all poison. Yes, and I would add Titans in there too. They're going to cover here and there, but you're going to lose more often. Yeah, it's a money pit. That's why I keep calling these teams what a money pit is. You have an example. You have a house that you keep putting in construction and things keep breaking, so you keep adding more and more money to it and never pans out. Yeah. These teams are money pits. You keep putting money into them and just get nothing out of it. I'm gonna need 16 tight end anytime touchdowns, probably from Tom. That's not 16 stuff because there are only 12 games left, So
yeah, imagine if it hits.
Oh my god, that'd be incredible. Yeah. I'd recommend a 10. 10 is a nice one, but maybe we'll get to that later. Anyway,
would you consider?
Oh,
I'm sorry.
No, what were you saying?
Would you consider Bengals for Survivor?
No, because you have the Colts. Colts are pretty square, and if you don't have the Colts available, you surely have Atlanta. I think those very 2 easy picks. And Evan brought something up on the show. I don't know if it was on the show or after the show, Joe Burrow might be back in December, and Joe Burrow gets Miami in December if he's back. It's like I think the Bengals play Miami in like week 16 or 17, and Burrow might be back for that. So if you want to save Cincinnati, like you get Burrow against one of the worst teams in the NFL. That's when you do it.
Jeez, I'm just worried because Atlanta burned me in the other pool against Carolina.
Well, again, that was off a win. Like, it's spot. Like, talk about spots. Like, this is much better. They're coming off a loss on national TV. If they lose this game, they're 3-4. Whereas, that Carolina game, they were 2-0. Oh no, sorry, they were 1-1, coming off a big win on national TV as an upset. And they thought, hey, Carolina sucks. Well, but they laid an egg. It's classic bad coaching. And Raheem Morris is a bad coach. But this is a much better spot. So,
okay.
Let's get to we talked about how Tennessee belongs in that money pit group, and let's get to Titans and Colts. The line,
they're one of the worst teams I've ever seen in my life.
I talked about how I was talking to that guy at the gym about he had a good chuckle. I'm like, he's like, do you think that line is a little high? Colts 14 minus 14, and I'm like, well, the Titans. They can't stop the run. They can't stop the pass. They can't get to the quarterback. They can't throw. They can't block, and they can't run. Outside of that, they're pretty decent. So, this team is awful. Like, they truly awful. They have no coaching either. That not only did they lose their head coach, they lost their offensive line coach because the offensive line coach was the father of the head coach, and so you have the nepotism angle where the father had to step down because the son was fired. Like, that'd be awkward if he stayed on. So they lost that. Also, Jeffrey Simmons is not going to play in this game. Like, their only great defensive player is going to be out. So, like, this defense, which was just already awful. Where are they ranked, by the way? Tennessee's defense ranked 30th in the NFL. 30th with Jeffrey Simmons, and now they're not going to have Simmons. So the only argument I can make against Tennessee here, and it doesn't nothing to do with the spread either. Like, you can cover 14 in the NFL. It's actually it's positive EV if you just take these minus 14s this early in the season. And I say 14 because it's 14 in the contest instead of 14.5 now. The only argument I have against the Colts is that they're coming off a win across the country. They're coming home against a team that they already beat, and next week they have the Steelers. But this is a young team that is hungry. This is not like a old veteran team, like those old Steelers teams with Roethlisberger. They never would cover the spread in these situations. This is a young and hungry team that I think is going to be willing to, just continue to play hard. They're coached well, and they're Steichen. Steichen has gotten a lot of crap over the years, but remember 2 years ago he nearly got the Colts to the playoffs with Gardner Minshew, and now he has like a real team here. I trust the Colts here to beat the crap out of the Titans, who you said it, one of the worst teams we've seen. They are awful. The only game they've definitively covered this year, and I say that because they may have covered week 1, depending on what the line was. Like, the only game they definitively covered this year was that Arizona game when Arizona dropped the ball and then had that kick ball into the end zone, and Murray got hit in the helmet by the ball and hurt his ankle on the play. Like, that is the only game they covered this year. And so maybe Taylor drops the ball again, or maybe it's Adonai Mitchell. Maybe they both drop the ball. And maybe they kick the ball in the end zone again. And maybe Daniel Jones hurts his ankle when diving for the ball. Like, maybe that happens. That's the only way Tennessee covers. So I like the Colts here, especially given that we're getting minus 14 in the contest, and it's 14.5 now. And I feel like it's going to maybe rise to like 15.5 by kickoff. So I like the Colts a lot. What do you think?
Yeah, I like them too. Geez, this Titans team is bad. But you know what's funny? They have actually hung in there at some points in games. I believe they were beating the Rams at halftime in week 2. They had the lead for a little bit there in the first half, and last week against the Patriots, and or even remember that Texans game, because I actually thought back that week I was like, well, maybe they could be a live dog that week against the Texans, and they were still only down 6-0 going into the fourth quarter.
Yeah,
but this team, like, they can't freaking do anything. This is a terrible offense. It's absolutely dreadful. There's just no way. I mean, I can't imagine any scenario where I would want to back them.
I feel like that's where the coaching comes in. Is like they can't make adjustments at halftime. They just get killed in the second half of these games, except for the Arizona game apparently. But like they can't play a complete game. and the other coaches run circles around them because they can't make any adjustments. So I don't know. Maybe Mike McCoy is not a good coach when he was coaching either. So I will continue to fade these horrible teams.
Yeah, I mean, you're interested in taking -14 on it.
They're going to be on both my cards.
Wow.
My personal cards, and they're on the card with Evan that I have with Evan. So they could be 4-4 if you like them enough.
I mean, I really can't blame you. You know, I do get a little bit nervous about these high spreads, but
since 2002, favorites of 14, exactly 14 in the month of October, are 8-3-1 against the spread.
You worry about the Colts looking forward to their game against Pittsburgh the next week. That might be, there's going to be playoff seeding involved there, maybe. Yeah.
Yeah, that's the only argument I have against the Colts. But look, I don't know how hard it is. Well, I do know how hard it is to predict player motivation. Sometimes we think that the team's going to be flat, and they're not. Sometimes we think a team's going to be trying hard, and they don't. These things are very hard to predict. I'm trying to find. In games this year, and this is anecdotal. This is my opinion, but games in which I gave a team a double star edge in motivation, just 17-17 this year. So a coin flip in predicting these things, and a small sample size, but still, and anecdotal, but
Yeah, but it counts for something.
Yeah, I guess so.
I think so.
In a longer term, it's better. A longer term, and this is dating back. How far is this dating back? So since 2011, I'm actually 560 and 486 in predicting motivation. So what is that?
Wait, say that again. What was?
Hold on. Since 2011, when I give a team a double star in motivation, I am 560 and 486 against the spread.
Okay.
That is 53.5%. So not amazing, but it's a winning proposition. Let me make sure if that's correct. 53.5%. So 52.3 is break even. So that's 1% over. I don't know if that means anything. So at least it's not the negative, but I don't know. I don't like. Again, this is a young team. It's not if this were like the Chiefs or Eagles, veteran team, then I'd be like, okay, maybe they mail this one in. But the Colts are a young and hungry team. Those teams generally don't look ahead,
Yeah. I mean, it's definitely Colts or nothing. I'll keep it on the maybes. Okay. The Titans are so bad.
All right, so we have 2 definites and 3 maybes, so we could theoretically have a card. All right, what is your next game?
Oh, let's take the Cowboys, man. You know that scene?
You like the Cowboys? Well, what are they in the contest? I think they're only +3, right?
Yeah,
the +3 is 3.5 now. You like the Cowboys?
Yeah, it's just a bad spot for Denver, especially coming off some crazy, So it's like. They beat the Eagles. They fly overseas. They win in a wild game. I don't know. This seems like a real letdown spot for them. And I know Dallas's defense is great, but Denver's offense is not is not great either. So I don't know. I think the Cowboys could win this game outright. So I don't know. I think this is a bad spot for Denver.
Because of the comeback, you said, and you said the travel too. Is it because of the comeback mostly?
Yeah, well, it was just a lot of things going on for them. I feel like I don't know. And I don't know. Really, that's 3 games that Denver could have easily lost. You know what I'm saying? So like, if they lost, what's their record now?
5-2.
5-2. Okay, so what? They could be 2-5, right? They could easily be 2-5.
But at the same time, they should have won in the Battle of Horses too. So like, you could say they could be 3-4, and the Chargers game, I think they were ahead in the 4th quarter. So you could say they could have won that game. There's just so many, like, if it's, but I think the takeaway is that they've been 50-50 in like every game this year. Even week 1, they were up 13-12, I believe. And Tennessee had the ball in field goal range. in the fourth quarter, and actually Tennessee was a favorite on the live line. So that was even a coin flip game. So every game they played this year, except for the Cincinnati game, has been a coin flip.
I don't know, man. This team almost loses to the freaking Jets. They beat the Jets 13-11. Wow. Way to go. And they should have lost to the Giants. Yeah, the Giants have been playing better, of course, but I mean, they couldn't do dick for 3 quarters on offense. It's just like, where I mean, we look at the last 2 games, and they had to come back. Their offense, if I remember correctly, in Philadelphia was stagnant until they came back. I mean, so where am I? Yeah, I know Dallas's defense is terrible, but but their offense is not. So I mean, I think it's a close game. I like the Cowboys a pretty good bit here.
Okay. I'm on the.
You say what's on your thoughts now.
Thank you. I was on the Denver side at -3, but at 3.5. Oh wow. At 3.5, not so much, but it's 3 in the contest. So, so there have been 21 teams that have blown leads. Or sorry, there have been 21 teams that have come back from a deficit of 17 or more entering the fourth quarter. How are they the following week? What do you think? 21 teams all time, or dating back to 1990,
that have overcome a 19-point deficit in the fourth quarter.
I would say 17, because 17 is a key number. 19 is kind of weird.
17, and you said there were how many? 24?
21.
21?
Mm-hmm.
I'll say that they were 6-15.
Is that straight up or against the spread? I guess it's like the same thing. Actually, it's the same thing. It's that's kind of weird. Why is I guess there was a tie. There was a tie. So straight up 10-10, 10-10-1, I guess. Against the spread, 11-10 against the spread. These teams have been a coin flip after these comeback wins.
Wow.
So
okay.
Yeah, that's what I said about like trying to handicap motivation, right? Just, it's you don't really know.
Well, yeah. Well, let me ask you though, like what makes you like Denver here? Like they really haven't been. Yeah, they have a solid defense, but you look back, it's been they've really struggled to put points on. 13-11 against the Jets. Come on.
I would completely discount that game. These London games, that was a 7:30 a.m. local time start for them. Like I don't know if I could take that game seriously. So I would just forget that game if you're going to handicap Denver going forward. I'd forget any London game or any European game for that matter. I think that's not real football. I think you have to kind of discount that.
Okay. I'll accept that.
Okay. So as far as this game is concerned, I think the point Andy made I like a lot, and I'll say why I thought Denver initially. So Andy was like, if you have Dallas's offense versus Denver's defense, both are great units, and they'll probably cancel each other out. But when you have Denver's offense versus Dallas's defense, that's a big advantage for Denver. And if you were to grade every single unit, offense, defense for both teams, Dallas's defense by far the worst unit in this game. So Denver should be able to score in Dallas. Now, maybe Bo Nix throws the ball out of bounds nonstop like he did last week. But here's how I'll get to my point. I thought Denver's rough spot was last week because they flew from Denver to Philly to London, back to Denver, almost halfway across the world. And they were forced to play another game. As Chris is saying, I don't know why they didn't take their bye. It's so stupid they didn't take their bye. But you know what they want, so I guess it didn't matter. Anyway, so now they're at home for a week. Now they're rested. Like I think this is a much better spot for Denver than last week. Like last week was the awful spot, and they should have lost the game, but they won. So they overcame a difficult obstacle in that. And they did beat the Eagles. I know they're down, but they did have a good fourth quarter and they beat the Eagles. So I like this team more than you and Evan do. And you sound down on them. Evan is definitely down on them. I think we're like 5 spots apart in our power rankings or something. I think he has them 18. I think I'm 13. I think. So I like Denver more. I just love their defense. I think their offensive line is solid, not great, but solid. And I like Sutton, obviously, and some of the young receivers. I'm not in love with Bo Nix, but, they do have Sean Payton coaching him up. So, and Bo Nix against a bad defense should do well. Like, again, should. Doesn't mean he will, but yeah. So that's why I like Denver at -3. Now he gets to -3.5. That's troublesome. Although I will say that Denver going from -3 to 3.5 is a bullish indication on them. It means the sports books are not afraid of the sharps coming in on Dallas at +3.5, and quite frankly, they haven't. The sharps moved the line from Denver 3 to 3.5. So, yeah, that's why I would go against Dallas here. I think Dallas sucks. Like, I know they played well against Washington last week, but Washington's a disaster right now. Washington's defense is awful. See how Dallas has done against upper half defenses this year. Let's look for a second. So Dallas played the Eagles in week 1. Now they did cover, but they only scored 20 points. It was 40-40 against the Packers. Packers are 18th in defense, so that they don't even count as upper half defense. They beat the Redskins, but Redskins one of the worst defenses in the NFL. They lost 31-14 against the Bears. The Bears defense is ranked. I know CeeDee Lamb got hurt in that game, but the Bears defense is ranked 7th in the NFL right now. So that's the top defense. They played against the Giants. The Giants defense stinks. They played against the Panthers. The Panthers beat them. The Panthers are 9th in defense, although Dallas did score 27. Yeah, they have not. Looks like they have not beaten the team with the top half defense this year yet. So yeah, can they score consistently against Denver? I have my worries about that. I think it's like Andy said. I think it's going to be like a middling thing. I think Dallas will probably score like 23, 24 points in this game, and then it'll be up to Denver scoring 25 plus against one of the worst defenses in the NFL, which I think they can do. So I think this game's gonna be like 27-24, 30-24 Denver, personally. But yeah, I mean, yeah. So we disagree on this one, but I don't have any units on Denver, so it's not like one of my top plays. But like I said, but like it did. If it was still Denver -3, I would actually consider betting it. But 3.5 is tougher, even though it is a bullish indication on them.
Yeah, I mean, you're kind of talking me off Dallas now. Maybe that's a good thing.
I couldn't talk Evan off Dallas. He actually is. Evan, I believe. Hold on. I don't know if he texted me, but someone texted me. You've got a comp on Pittsburgh versus Green Bay. What is this? Oh, it's a gambling thing. Never mind. Someone's trying to convince me to join their gambling site.
Oh, nice.
Evan has Dallas on his super contest card. So yeah, I mean he likes him a lot. I was not able to sway him.
Okay.
But yeah. So
okay.
Again, it's not one of my strongest plays. So Bronny sighting. Oh, stop! We have to stop the stream. Stop the stream. Bronny's in the game. It's a blowout. It's a 17-point lead.
Oh, are you serious? That's awesome. Wow.
What's awesome?
What? Bronny's in the game?
Yeah, he's played 2 minutes. He scored 0 points, 0 rebounds, 0 assists. Let's go.
Dope. Come on, dude. Imagine if you started him on DFS at like he got in and he scored like 30.
2 minutes left.
Yeah.
Imagine
just pinch hit. Wild.
Is that pinch hit grand slams? What's more impressive, 30 points in 2 minutes or a pinch hit grand slam?
Oh wow, that's true. Especially if it was Bronny, then it would definitely be remembered forever.
Doncic by the Doncic 49, 11, and 8. I don't. If the Lakers are any good, Doncic is going to win MVP because there's no LeBron. Like he's doing everything for this team. Like his first game was sick too. What is? Hold on, let me see what he did. I'm going to read you what he did in week or not week 1, game 1. So they lost to the Warriors, but Doncic went for 43 points, 12 rebounds, 9 assists.
Wow.
And in this game, as I said earlier, he went for 49 points, 11 rebounds, 8 assists. Like this is insane. Like
That is, yeah.
and LeBron is sciatica. He's not going to come back anytime soon. So what I want to see what Doncic is regular season MVP is 5-1 right now. Like I said, like if the Lakers are if the Lakers make the playoffs, I think Doncic is winning MVP.
That's a good bet, I think.
Yeah. Drafted Luka 5th overall. He should have been the first pick. I also bought a Luka rare. I actually won it today in an auction. Actually have 2 of them in so rare. So I'm hoping, first prize is $3,000. I'm hoping that one of those Doncic's wins me $3,000 at some point this year. Bronny needs 1 point, so him and Luka combined for 50. wait. End of regulation. End of regulation. Final count. Bronny James, 0 points. 0 rebounds. Didn't get there.
Dang it. Almost.
I know. One of these days, he's going to score 1 point. It's going to be beautiful. That would be way more impressive than the pitch hit home run. So
it will be, yeah.
Maybe like I was there the day Bronny scored 1 point.
Yeah. Make T-shirts and stuff. I saw Bronny score a basket.
A certain YouTube and streamer called a Donna kick.
Donna kick.
Wemby's also early MVP candidate, but obviously needs to stay healthy. Yeah, and this I feel like there's a better chance the Lakers are good. Well, actually, I don't know about that. Actually, my dad talked me into betting the Spurs to win the championship, but they're like 70-1. He's like it's not going to win, but let's root for this long shot. I'm like, okay, fine. Yeah. I put like $10 on it or something, but yeah. So anyway, but yeah, I think those. You're right, Chris. I think that Wemby is definitely in the running too. I think it's gonna be one of those two. But I'm just saying, like with no LeBron there, Doncic is doing everything, like 2 straight insane games. So like we're gonna keep seeing this until LeBron comes back, and he may not be 100% all year. So yeah. By the way, Luka, he scored 74 fantasy points for me tonight. So that's pretty disgusting. He was projected for 52. He scored 74.
Wow.
Anyway, yeah. Anyway, I believe it's my turn because you brought up Dallas. So it's what games do I like that we haven't gotten to yet? Let's see. I think. Oh, okay. Chiefs minus 12.5. That's what they are in real life right now. The Chiefs in the contest are also minus 12.5. So okay, no difference there. So we have Marcus Mariota against the top 10 defense. Anytime I see backup quarterback against the top 10 defense, I want to fade that. And this again, the Chiefs last year would have been auto fade here. Like they just were doing the bare minimum to cover or to win. Sorry, the bare minimum to win. They were not covering the spread at all. They're winning by 3 points when they were favored by 10. They almost lost to Carolina for crying out loud. So but this year they're so much different. Like we saw that in the Raider game. Like they are blocking well, which they weren't doing last year. They have good weapons, which they didn't have last year because Worthy was just a rookie and there was no Rashee Rice beyond week 4 and Travis Kelce was not in shape. Kelce, it looks in shape this year. And so Kansas City's offense is just so much better. And like I mentioned this heading into week 1, it didn't pan out because they didn't cover against the Chargers. But I remember watching the preseason game. I think I told you about it, but it seemed like for the first time in years that they had like energy. They looked like they were enthusiastic about playing. And I think it's because they were coming off the loss in the Super Bowl. Like there's not like this pressure of repeating. Like they had this like chip on the shoulder and like they're having fun. So I think that carried over into this season. Now they did slip up for the first 2 weeks, but once now they have Rashee Rice back, and they didn't have Worthy for those couple weeks. So like now they have Worthy going, and again they have Kelce going, and they have a good offensive line going, and now their defense just shut down the Raiders. The Raiders, they only threw the ball 16 times, being down 31-0, because they never had the ball. Like the Chiefs won time possession 42 to 18 minutes. And if we get this sort of defensive performance against Mariota, I don't know how the Redskins are going to score, and the Redskins defense is so putrid. So I think this could have the makings of a blowout. So Yeah. What are your thoughts on this game?
Wow, that's interesting. I didn't really think twice about this game.
Okay.
But geez, I mean, now that they have everybody back, I do kind of like it.
Yeah.
Yeah, geez, I didn't really think about this. You're not afraid of the big spread in that?
No, I don't see why it would be. It's like there's a difference. There's a high spread. I think these teams are just very far apart. Washington lost by 22 to Dallas.
Mm-hmm.
Like why? Like I don't know why they cover this game. Kansas City's much better than Dallas.
All right, let's throw them on.
Throw them on for sure.
Yeah, let's put it on. I like it.
Okay. Curious if I should buy Bill low if I can. Yeah, Bill is getting the most of the carries. Yeah, and when Daniels comes back, he's going to do more. So yeah. Okay. We're going to put Kansas City minus 12.5 on our cards. So that is definite number 3. Okay. So you're up next. Where are we going?
Okay. Let's see here. How about the Ravens? What it looked like? Let me see here. Jackson, he was full, right? He's coming back. I see on the injury report.
I thought limited all week. Let me make sure. I thought I saw limited all week.
Okay, I thought it was limited full.
Let me see. Hold on. Oh, it could be actually. Hold on. I'll put it up. Actually, I have 2 Ravens tabs open already.
Nice.
Okay, Lamar Jackson. Oh yeah. Okay, yeah, you're right. Limited full. Questionable, however, but full. That is nice to see. And here's the injury news I have for this game. Kyler Gordon out. Tyreek Stevenson, who's having a good year, out. And Jalen Johnson, the top corner, out. The top 3 corners are out. So if we do see Jackson, and he's questionable, but if we do see Jackson, he's going to have a field day against the Chicago secondary, missing the top 3 corners. So go on with your Ravens analysis.
Wait, I thought you were saying. Well, I thought you were saying they were out for the Ravens.
No, the Bears top 3 corners are out.
Oh, my bad. Okay. Well, yeah. I mean, I think especially as bad as like the Ravens, like they got to win this game too. They absolutely have to win this game. Obviously.
Yeah, for sure.
I don't know. I'm not quite sold on the Bears yet, by any stretch of the imagination, and I'm not going to back a quarterback that paints his fingernails, even though. But no, I as long as Jackson's going to play, and it sounds like based on that, if he was full, that he probably will.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, we're just they've looked really bad, but they've been so beat up. It seems like they've been the most injured team this season. I mean, we're just going to forget like what a powerhouse they are when they're healthy. I mean, I know they have other injuries too, but I mean, if Jackson is back, I think they could maybe cover this easily.
Yeah, that's the question. Is he going to be back? We don't know. I brought that up with Evan because we have our card, and I was like, what do you think about Jackson here? And he said, not touching Baltimore until I see Lamar look like Lamar, which is fair. You could certainly think that. As an investor of meme stocks, I like to be early. Like I was buying GameStop at 4, and it hovered at 4 for a while. Actually, no, I bought GameStop at 5, and it went down to 4. So I don't mind being early. I think there's something to that. Like once you see Jackson play 100%, you're not going to get the sort of line again. Ravens -7. It's like seems like low. Probably, like if Jackson never missed any time and the Ravens didn't lose all these games because they were so injured, like what would this line be? Like 9.5 probably, or 10. So I feel like we're getting a discount.
Yeah, I like him a pretty good bit. If you're interested, man, we've been picking a lot of favorites lately.
Well, I mean, it's probably 50-50 anyway. Like if underdogs are so lucrative, you could just take underdogs blindly. Like they're 50-50.
Right. No, I know, but usually we take more. But hey, we've been doing fine with it. So
yeah. So,
I mean, do you have any hesitation? Like, do you really think there's a chance that they're after we submit the card, they'll be like, "Oh wait, Lamar's not going to play now"? I don't know.
I think there's always a chance that happens. I'm looking through my Twitter feed with people I follow to see if I'm seeing anything Lamar Jackson. I don't think anyone knows anything. It's Jameson Henley wrote something. He says more on Ravens, Lamar Jackson being a surpriseful participant in Friday's practice, which provides hope that the two-time MVP will return Sunday versus the Bears. Jim Harbaugh said, "We'll see where we at going forward." You just don't know. But like, if he was healthy and ready to go, I don't think they'd tell us anyway. So these coaches are always like super secretive with their injuries and whatnot. So, Tyler Huntley said Jackson looked good. I don't know what that means. So I don't know. I don't know what that means. So there's really nothing definitive here.
He's probably going to play.
I would think so. 1-5, I would think so. Like if there were 4-2, I could see him maybe sitting out. But
right.
If he was I would say if he's limited all week and there were 4-2, but the fact that he was fully in practice, I think that means he'll play. And so, given the Chicago injuries and Lamar's health, and also, by the way, look at this injury report for Baltimore. Not one other player is questionable. They're all back. Awuzie back. Flowers healthy. Hamilton back. Sorry, I clicked something. Hamilton back. Marlon Humphrey, no designation. Roquan Smith, no designation. Ronnie Stanley, no designation. They're all healthy again, except for Matabuke is on IR. They're all going to play. So this is the Ravens team we saw week 1 and 2, except for Matabuke. So. And assuming Jackson's healthy, so yeah.
I feel like every time I turn around, Zay Flowers is fumbling again.
Well, maybe variance will catch up, and he won't fumble.
I hope so.
It's a great matchup for him with all the Bears cornerbacks out.
Yeah, I really like the Ravens here. I'd just be so shocked if Lamar didn't play, especially if he was full.
I agree. I like the Ravens quite a bit. Harbaugh's 13-3 straight up after a bye. Chicago's a fraud 4-2.
Agreed.
Yeah, Chicago is a fraud 4-2 for sure. 9-7 against the spread after a bye for Harbaugh, and usually I think only 9-7 versus 13-3 straight up is because they're probably favored by more than they normally would be because John Harbaugh is known as a good coach, and so he's probably like required to cover by an extra point or two. So. That would explain. I think that would explain the discrepancy. But like here, they're not favored by as many as they should be. If the two teams, if we knew Jackson was going to play, So yeah, I like Baltimore too. And what are they? They're -7 in the contest. What are they?
6.5.
Let me see. You're right, 6.5. Wow. Okay. Yeah, and this line moved to 7. So, where'd Tom go? Tom disappeared. Tom's gone. So, well, I'll here he comes. Where'd you go?
I meant to click on a tab and I clicked on a favorites link, so it just started taking me into a new website.
Okay, that's funny. Yeah. So 6.5 the contest, and it moved to 7. So that's a good indication. So
yeah, let's throw them on there.
All right,
you're into it. Okay,
let's do it. All right, Baltimore -6.5. Okay. How many games have we not discussed yet? Let's look at the card.
The 49ers and the Texans.
Okay, so I asked Evan about this one too. There are 3 games with major injury question marks, injury changes. So we talked about Tampa losing Vea potentially. We talked about Baltimore with Chicago's cornerbacks and all of them being healthy. This is the other one. The Niners. Obviously, they already have these injuries, right? Nick Bosa's out, Fred Warner's out. Like you know that already. They won't have their center, Jake Brendel, who's played well this year. It's not like some bum. And the big thing is Bryce Huff is going to be out. Bryce Huff has played very well for the Niners. He had a dominant game against Atlanta. He leads the team in pressures with 24. And keep in mind, Bosa's been out since week 3, so that's why he's not up there. So the numbers on this I think are pretty bearish for the Niners. So let me read this off to you. The Niners have 106 pressures through 7 games this year, which is not a good number. Usually, like a fair number for each game is like 20 pressures. So a team that plays 7 games would have to have like 140 pressures, give or take 5 or 10, for that to be good. The Niners leader in sorry, let me just say this. Nick Bosa has 10 pressures. He had 10 pressures through 2 games. He got hurt in the first quarter of week 3. So you take out 10, right? So they're remaining players with 96 pressures. Yator Gross-Matos, who's injured, he has 9 pressures. So you take off 19. We're down to 85. Bryce Huff has 24 pressures. So take those off, and the top the top remaining guy in pressures is Michael Williams with 14. I mean, no one else on the team has won 14 pressures with Huff and Bosa gone. So, like, the reason I loved Seattle Monday night, well, I loved them for a couple of reasons, but the main reason was because I thought it was obvious. Like, Houston's offensive line, garbage. Seattle's defensive line, second in pressures in the NFL. So that was just going to be such a big advantage for the Seahawks. By the way, Seattle 172 pressures this year. Compare that to San Francisco's 1-6. That's like how much of a disparity that is. So like Stroud was never going to have a chance, and he had a deer in the headlights look. You know, he was awful in that game. But now he's going to have time, so it's going to be better for him. Although what really stings here is that Nico Collins is out. Yeah. And so if Collins were in, I think I'd like Houston a lot more. But I think this is a bad spot for the Niners. They're coming off like a pseudo upset win against the Falcons. They were favorites, but like the public was betting Atlanta, so it's like almost an upset win. And now they're coming up a win. They have to play against a Houston team that just got embarrassed on national TV. So I like Houston. It's not. It would be. I think I'd bet this game if Collins were playing, but he's not. So I don't think I'm going to bet this game, but I'm at least considering it. What are your thoughts here?
I like Houston too. It looks like Vegas is begging you to take the Niners. Yeah.
Oh yeah, for sure.
So I really like him in this spot. Obviously, the Collins injury is plays a significant role in how strongly I feel, though. But the thing is, even with Collins, we've seen how much this Houston offense has struggled. I mean, as I mentioned before, they were only winning 6-0 against the freaking Titans in the third quarter. Now I think they ended up winning like 27-0 or something like that. But
yeah,
I don't know. It's really, really hard to have any sort of faith in the Texans offense. Their defense has been solid, but I don't know. I mean, maybe they can win like a 16-13 type of game here or something. But I mean, if their offense even played like average, then I'd really like them. But it's really been bad. And now Collins is out. It's a tough. I love them in this spot, and it seems like Vegas is begging you to take the 49ers. I really like the Texans, but it's hard to pull the trigger with that offense. But I would still consider it with all that said, because I like the spot that much.
Yeah. Do you? I always ask you this every week. Do you want to name the top? Say the top 3 teams getting the most money this week.
Okay. Well. Okay. Let me look at my list. So I'll say 49ers are one of them.
The 49ers are number 1 at 91% of the money is on San Francisco. Wow. 91%. You're right that they are begging people to take the Niners.
Yeah. Okay. I'm going to say the Falcons.
They're number 5.
Oh, wow. Okay. All right. Well, I'm going to say the Colts.
Colts are not in the top 5. The Colts are they're a bottom 4. They're 4th. They are getting more money than Tennessee, but they're like the 4th fewest of the teams getting the money.
How about the Bengals?
They're 4th.
Really? I thought it'd be a little bit more. Wow, I'm so bad at this game.
Yeah, look, you nailed the number 1 team right away. You're not bad at this game. It's a tough game.
I guess I'll go with. How about the Bills?
Bills are number 3. Okay. We didn't talk about that game yet. And then I'll give you a hint for the last one. It's an underdog.
The Steelers?
No, Steelers. Where are the Steelers? They're 6th, actually.
Oh wow. Okay.
Yeah.
I'll say the Giants.
Not the Giants. The Giants Eagles is exactly 50-50. Public does not know
Wow,
where
I'm
to go with
terrible at this. I'm just tell me who, because I'm just gonna guess until I get it.
The Dallas Cowboys at
Oh,
88%.
wow. Okay.
And think about that. Like, all the money on Dallas, and the line moved from 3 to 3.5. Interesting, right?
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. Yeah. That's like the sports was like, you want to bet Dallas? Here's a better line. Bet more Dallas, please.
Yeah. Oh man. Okay, which one did you want to get into? Bills and Panthers, or?
I think that's is that the only one we haven't talked about yet? Let's see. There's Bills, Panthers, Browns, Patriots, and that is it. So we have two more to discuss. The Bills, I was really hoping to see a better injury report from them, because they haven't played well since week 2. Ever since then, like, they almost lose to the Dolphins. They almost lose to the Saints. Like, Brandon Cooks drops the pass. The Saints would have had the lead in the fourth quarter of that game. Then they lose to the Patriots, and then they lose to the Falcons. So they haven't played well since week 2. And in fact, they've only played 5 good quarters this year. The fourth quarter against the Ravens, and then the entire game against the Jets. And we know how bad the Jets are. So like it's so tough to back this team as a 7-point favorite, or they're 7.5 in real life, but I think they're 7 in the contest, I believe. Yeah, they are. So but here's the thing: like, since week 2, they haven't had a healthy defense. Matt Milano's been out. Milano, one of the better linebackers in the league. Like, there's so, like, it's like Vea almost, even though it's a different position. Like, their run defense is so bad without Milano over the years. And then when he comes back, like, he's healthy, he dominates in the middle of the field, and suddenly Buffalo is so much better against the run. But he's limited. He was limited all week, and he's questionable for this game. So I don't know if he's going to play. But generally, like, Milano fights to come back early, and then when he does not play well. Last year he was out for a while, and he came back, and then for like 2 weeks he was terrible, and then he started playing well, like he was dominant again. So if he returns this week, I don't know if he's gonna be 100%. So Ed Oliver's been out too; he's back, but Daquan Jones is going to be out again. Daquan Jones is a really talented defensive lineman for the Bills, and 2 of the safeties on the Bills, 2 of the top 3 safeties are out too. Not that that's like a strength position, but still, there's just still injuries. So the fact that I'm not convinced that their run defense is going to be good, like against Rico Doodle Dandy, as you like to call him, he's that's gonna be. I think that's gonna be problematic. However, Kevin Kovac, who helped us out with the super chats on Wednesday, he brought a good point where he's talking about, like, this is only the second time all year the Panthers are playing up in competition. They played nothing but Group C, D, and F teams. The only time they haven't played a Group C, D, or F team, they played the Patriots, and they got blown out 42-14. So this is theoretically a step up in competition, but given how mediocre the Bills have been, I don't know if that's actually true. So it's a tough one. It's tough getting the handicap. I'm not going to bet this one. I just want to see if Milano's healthy, and if Milano's looking great, I think you could live bet the Bills. But obviously that doesn't count in the Super Contest. So what do you think about this game?
Would you take the Bills in Survivor?
No, because there's just so many better options for them down the road. They're going to be hosting the Jets down the road. They play the Dolphins again. Like, you could take them then. You could take the Bills almost any week. Their schedule's so easy. If there like no alternatives, then sure. But like, this is a team you should just keep down the road, because you could take them here, but like, there's a better chance the Colts win. I think there's a better chance the Falcons win. Like, the Bills could get tripped up here if their defense isn't healthy. You know what I mean? So I would not take them here.
Okay. I'm just nervous about the Falcons because of the way they played against the Panthers when I took them in my other Survivor pool that lost.
Yeah. I have 4 entries left in DraftKings Survivor, and I was going to take all Colts, but to my chagrin, on one of my entries, I took the Colts already in week 5 against the Raiders.
Oh, okay.
So in that entry, I took Atlanta.
Yeah, initially I really like the Bills here, but now I'm not so sure. I could see this being like a 24-20 game too. The Bills, you're right. They've looked mediocre. I really like them going into this week, actually, because I'm not sold on the Panthers, and they're coming off 3 straight wins, and this could just be one of those instances where the Bills, win like 42-10 as well.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
So it would be Bills or nothing for me, but I'm not quite. Unless you have like a really strong change of heart like later on in the week.
Yeah.
Or I guess it would have to be by tomorrow.
12 hours. Maybe I'll have a dream like Ryan Fox winning the Canadian Open.
Yeah. You'll call me in like 3 hours from now.
Right.
Take the Bills.
Well, the problem is I'm not sleeping much these days because I was getting to bed at 6:30 last night, and as soon as I'm in bed, I actually had my phone to set my alarm. My son comes in, he wakes up, he's like, Daddy, I want to sleep with you. I'm like, okay. So he's 3. He gets into bed with me, and he starts asking me questions. I forget what I was so tired. I forget what he was asking me. He was asking me. He asked. He's like, do water buffaloes fly? I'm like, no. And he's like, well, why are there buffalo wings? I'm like, oh, okay, that's what you're asking that. Okay. And then he starts counting. He starts counting to 50. And I was trying to get him to count to 100, but he got stuck at 50. He didn't know it was after 50. Like I had to tell him I was 60s next. Okay. And so like, this is like for 45 minutes. He's just like talking, which is, it's fine. But whatever. And then he like at 7 a.m. He's like, Daddy, I'll let you sleep. And then he leaves.
Mighty considerate of him.
Right. So my point is, I had my alarm set for 10:30, so I only slept and of course I didn't fall asleep right away. So it was like less than 3.5 hours of sleep last night. So my point is that I'm not sleeping enough to have these vivid dreams of Brian Fox.
Right.
Open. So I need sleep to do that.
Oh geez, well we better sign off then, so we can.
It's still got
you can rest your weary head.
Right. I'm gonna be on the Play Like a Jet show after this. So.
Okay. Okay.
And then I have to do the DraftKings stuff. Like I'm still gonna be I'm still gonna be working until like 6 a.m. Will be very nice when your son starts asking football questions. Maybe even wake you up for the weekly London game in 2028.
Nice.
I'm putting in the work, by the way. When he's old enough to understand this stuff, he's covering the early games. I'm not. I'm not doing this crap anymore. By then, we'll probably have like early games every week. It's gonna be a disaster. Oh, by the way, my one last thing, my son. Like I was getting ready. I was gonna take him to my mom's house today, and so I went to the bathroom, and he's down here. I see, and when I walk out of the bathroom, I see him here at the seat, like on like. Starting like trying to type on the computer. Like, what are you doing? He's like, Daddy, I want to make money. It's like in his mind, just like slamming keys on the computer.
That's awesome.
Like, yeah.
I mean, in the end, that is all it really is, I guess. Just hanging out and pushing buttons here on the Walter Football After Dark show.
It's basically that's the crux of it. Yeah.
That's we love that here.
Yeah. Anyway, we have this last game. Do you have anything on this? I couldn't make any sense of this game because on one hand, it's the first time Drake May is going to play a tough defense this year, except for Carolina, but Carolina had major injuries that week, so I don't really count that. But on the other hand, I don't want to back Dylan Gabriel with my money. So, I did last week, but like I knew Gabriel wasn't going to be a factor. He didn't throw. He barely threw. He threw. I think he threw 18 times because it was all Judkins. It was all Judkins in the defense. Yeah. But like, it's not going to be Judkins in the defense here. Gabriel's going to have to make some plays, and I don't trust him. So, any thoughts on this one?
Last week it was the biggest bet I made in a while. I took the Browns, and I also bet Judkins over 100+ rushing yards because I knew about the weather conditions.
He didn't get there.
Well, here's what happened. Because he had that long, like 42-yard, I can't remember how long it was, 42-yard run for a touchdown. Mm-hmm. So that shot him. He had, I think, 75 at halftime.
Yep.
I cashed out at halftime because I was like, because I kept seeing like, he kept running had like these runs for loss, like -2 yards, -2 yards. And I was like, I have a feeling he's not going to get there. Mm-hmm. So I cashed it out. It ended up being, because I had 100 on it and it was going to pay 210, but I took 180.
Okay.
And then he didn't get there. He only had 83, but I kept seeing him run for a loss, even though he had that many yards at halftime. I was like, I have a weird feeling it's not going to get there. So it's kind of funny. I don't really do the cash out thing, but
Yeah.
it paid off that time. So
Nice.
But anyhow, yeah, I don't trust Gabriel either here. I do think this Browns team is better than most people think, but I don't know. Like we've been saying, Dylan Gabriel kind of just dinks and dunks, and I just outside of Judkins, I don't really like anything on their offense. Yeah, I think I lean towards the Patriots here. I'm not in love with it though, but are you interested in putting on the card or?
No. Not at all. Herman says, yeah, I've been looking at this game pretty hard. Stevenson's awful. Browns run defense is good. Garrett could destroy May. Turnovers could be an issue, but so hard to rely on those. Yeah, I feel the same way. This is one of this. I think this is the toughest game to handicap this week. And honestly, Patriots by 7 is probably the most likely result, and that's what the line is. So,
yeah. Would you take Patriots and Survivor?
If I didn't have Indy and Atlanta, what are the other options? I would take.
I'm nervous about taking Atlanta. I don't know why.
Well, I would take it. I would take. I would take the Patriots over the Bengals. Well, yeah, I would, because like I said, you wait till Burrow gets back. Nothing in this game. We don't know about Lamar here. As I mentioned Atlanta already. Buffalo. Now I said Buffalo. Why you'd wait on them? Certainly not the Eagles. They could lose this game. This line's too tight here. I talked about the Colts before. No. And then Chiefs, I would I mean, you could take the Chiefs because in your contest, I'm sure you're not playing for the Christmas and
right.
Thanksgiving slates.
I took the Chiefs last week.
Right. So yeah, you can't do
that.
Okay. So yeah. So my order this week, not counting the Chiefs, would be Colts, then Falcons, and then Patriots. Yeah.
I guess I'll take the Falcons. Because I was like, oh, I'm worried they'll lay another egg, but it's like, you know what? I'm sure they're like, hey, like, let's not let this happen again. They're in a good spot coming off the loss.
Yeah.
Miami can't stop any sort of run
or anything.
Yeah.
So,
I think I'll go with Falcons then.
Okay, Chiefs are a good survivor option if you don't need them. Yeah, definitely. But yeah, a lot of people took them last week. Actually, a lot of people took them in the Circus Survivor, which Evan said he was shocked by. I agree. Like, I get because it's not like they're just on one slate. Like they're on both. They're both the Christmas and Thanksgiving slate. So like,
wow,
you need to pick those. Like it's not. I wonder if people don't realize that. It's like, what if they run out of teams and they only have like one underdog remaining on the slates? Like I'm sure that's happened before.
Oh yeah.
So
and imagine all you have is an underdog and you win.
Yeah,
that'd be awesome.
Well, I mean, we've seen that before. Like, remember a couple years ago on Christmas, the Raiders played the Chiefs, and the Raiders had those 2 turnovers in like 5 seconds.
I remember that.
And imagine if you only had Raiders left, and you're like, oh my god, I have to take the Raiders, and then they win.
That'd be awesome.
Yeah. So I'm sure it happened to someone.
What's the farthest you've gotten in a Survivor? Have you ever won one?
I got to week 16 back when it was 17 weeks. And I had, I remember I took the Falcons back when they had Michael Vick against the Panthers. The Panthers were starting Chris Winky Dinky Doo. And Winky completed, I think, 3 or 5 passes in the game. I know it was like an odd number. And, but the Falcons lost to Chris Winky Dinky Doo somehow. It was week 16. God. I couldn't believe it. Like it was a Michael Vick team against Chris Winky Dinky Doo. Like come on, man. So that is the, that's how far I got, week 16.
Wow. So. Was it? Did it seem like an obvious choice? That because I'm always wondering, because this is kind of like my first time doing Survivor.
Mm-hmm.
Like I guess it's probably going to be pretty slim pickings by the end, huh? But I guess everyone's in the same boat.
Yeah, I mean, it is tougher for sure. So yeah, I don't know. I guess when you get that far, it's just such a big letdown, because you've been in it for so long and it's just suddenly over.
Right.
It's it's like almost like if you're in a long relationship and it just ends and you're like, oh man, did I waste all my time doing that?
Yeah.
No, yeah. Actually, I think I got the reverse. I think I actually took Chris Winky because the Falcons had a backup. Actually, I think that's what it was. I think it was because Chris Chandler played for instead of Michael Vick. I think they like signed Chris Chandler, who was like 1 million years old. Maybe that was it. But I know I lost Carolina Falcons week 16. I know that happened. So anyway, Tua can't see across the line of scrimmage. So anyway, let's get to the card here. So let's put the definites on the board and see if we want to stick with them. The definites here are Pittsburgh +3 against the Packers, Atlanta -7.5 against the Dolphins, Kansas City -12.5 against the Redskins, and then Ravens -6.5 against the Bears. Are we sticking with those?
Yeah, that all looks good to me.
Okay.
What? Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, so that means we have to pick one of these three. Maybes are Tampa -3.5 against the Saints, Giants +7.5 against the Eagles, and then Colts -14 against the Titans. So, what are your thoughts here? And then once you say your thoughts, I'll tell you what order I would have these in.
Geez, that's a big number for the Colts, but I have a hard time. God, the Titans are just so terrible.
Yeah,
they're just so terrible. I don't know. Like I'm actually kind of inclined to take the Giants because we haven't been taking a whole lot of underdogs lately, but it's been working out okay for us. I know we've got one on there in Pittsburgh already, but
yeah. How would you order these? You had to pick.
I think Tampa, Indy, Giants.
Oh, so you like the Giants the least?
Yeah, probably. I don't know. Yeah, Horse over here is saying there's something very suspicious about that Bucs line.
Well, yeah, I mean, we talked about how Vea might be out, so yeah, that would be why.
Yeah, I don't know. Oof. Sorry, I'm at a loss here. It's very, very rarely am I at a loss for words. It does happen from time to time.
Yeah. As Emmett would say, I'm at a lost for words.
Yeah. Wait, who says that?
Emmett, of course.
I'm at a loss for words.
Lost.
That's great. That's great. Boy, I'm kind of inclined to say Indy, but man, two big favorites like that, that's kind of scary.
Big favorites covered.
Yeah, I know.
So the reason why they're big favorites is a big discrepancy.
Yeah. I don't know. What do you like? Where would you order them?
My order is right to left. So Colts, then Giants, then Buccaneers.
Yeah, I mean, let's put the Colts on there. Let's go into it.
Okay. Colts -14. So this is hold on, Holmes Hall Heroes 21 and 14. So this is our card. Holmes Hall Heroes 21 and 14. Pittsburgh +3. Atlanta -7.5. Kansas City -12.5. Baltimore -6.5. Colts -14.
Yeah, I'll tell you, I think I love the Steelers the most. I think they're going to win outright. I'll be so shocked if the Packers win. Take it from a lifelong Packers fan.
Yeah,
I'll be shocked if they win this one. I just don't see it. I always used to feel the same way when they play San Francisco in the Rodgers era. They never could beat freaking San Francisco.
I know.
49ers. I'm getting that same feeling. They ain't winning this game. Come on.
No.
What would make you think that? When I say you, I mean a person. I don't mean you. Like, what would I want to hear the argument for Green Bay? I don't think there is one. They're underperforming. You know, they're like, I feel like they have played down to their opponents. You know, it's at least some of them,
mm-hmm.
and they haven't really done anything impressive. Well, I shouldn't say it like that, but like week 1 was impressive, but other than that, it's like they can't shut the door. They can't put teams away. They can't win by margin. I don't see them going. Oh, interconference on the road.
Oh God.
No way, man. I think Rodgers is going to take a giant dunk on them.
Okay.
I really do. I
Yeah.
really do. It's a great spot. Long week. Tomlin coming off a loss. They were doomed. I'm not reading in that Cincinnati loss. They were doomed to win or to lose that game. I really liked the Bengals in that game. So I'm not putting much stock into that loss. I think the
Yeah.
Steelers are a lock, man.
Nice. Is that why 1.5K pick?
Yeah.
Back in August, he said Packers were locked this game. Waffling. Is that true? I don't remember that.
I don't know. I don't know. I say a lot of things. Maybe I did. Hey, that's the beauty of it. I can change my tune as long as it's before it happens, right?
Changing your tune changer.
Yeah. No.
Where's that from? Take a guess. So random. You won't know.
Yeah, no, I don't. It's from a video game.
No, it's from a TV show, half-hour TV show about coming of age, about a boy.
Wonder Years.
Boy meeting the world.
Oh, Boy Meets World.
The Boy Meets World. Yeah.
Oh man.
I don't know why that quote always stuck out to me. Is when they're running for election and Corey wants to do all this nonsense because that's back when he was a cool kid rather than he grew up to be like an old Jewish woman when he was like a senior in high school almost. And so when he was a kid, like 9th, 10th grade, he's actually like a cool kid and he wanted to do all this fun stuff. And then like he realized he couldn't. And then like the guy who's running against like changing your tune changer.
Yeah.
So, I don't know why I always remember that one.
I love that.
Speaking of kids shows, hey Tom, how would you order the 4 Ninja Turtles?
Leonardo, Donatello, Raphael, Michelangelo.
Yeah, I would also have Michelangelo last. When I was a kid, I liked Raphael the best, but I think that's just because I liked the color red back then. I don't know why. There's no reason I think I liked him the most. I'm not sure. Why'd you? Who'd you say first? Leonardo?
Yeah, no, Leonardo's first. I like blue. I like purple. So. And also, like Leonardo's weapon is like the best weapon out of the 4. You literally have swords.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah,
I think nunchucks is the worst weapon.
Yeah, for sure. Like there's nothing, and like the bow, Donatello's bow. I mean, it could do some damage if you used it right, but like if someone else has a sword too, like that's gonna chop that right in half. Then what are you gonna do, Donatello?
Yeah. The size are powerful, but you got to be close. You got to be like super fast. So,
I saw this sign outside of the courthouse one time. It has this list of prohibited items, and there's like a list of like 20 different like weapons, and one of the weapons they have listed throwing stars. like I'm heading into the courthouse. Like, oh crap, I forgot I got my throwing stars on me.
That'd be good. That'd be a good skit.
Yeah. Like. Throwing stars, like I'm sure if you, I don't know, there's probably somebody out there that has studies martial arts or something that might have them, but like why are you carrying throwing stars with you? And certainly if you have an appointment to be at the courthouse, like I'm sure it's just a formality. They have to like
look if they put it on, I'm sure someone tried it, right? Like otherwise,
exactly. That's what I think. That's what I think too.
Yeah.
But it's just so funny, like throwing stars. Like you get up to the entrance, like, damn it, I got to go back to my car, put my throwing stars in the trunk while I go in for my hearing.
Do they have size there? Can you bring in a size?
Yeah. I don't think any. I think it's all prohibited, all shapes and sizes. Oh, man. Oh my gosh, jeez. Yeah, go ahead.
Sadistic NES game. Donatello's weapon is the only one you could trust. Man, that's
true. That's true. He was best in the game.
PTSD from that game, man.
Yeah. Because you could go up top on the barrels and like go down on them without risking getting hit. And you could kind of do that with Leonardo's sword, but the bow, like it reached down farther. You know what I'm talking about? I was always Donatello in the game.
No, you're talking about TMNT 2. I'm talking about the first one. This is the sadistic one.
Yeah, I'm talking. Yeah, I know. I'm talking about the first one too.
Oh, okay. No, I thought you were going to bring up the water bombs, the explosives that you have to dismantle.
Oh yeah. No, I know that's the one I'm talking about. But you could remember the enemies would like try to jump if you were like on the platform above, and you could kneel down and put your sword or the bow and just like hit them from above, and they you're at basically no risk of getting hit.
Okay,
that's how you'd have to get past that. And Leonardo's sword could do that to an extent too. but not as good as Donatello. So I was always Donatello. Yeah,
Mhm.
the disarming of the bombs. I mean, that's
Yeah,
horrible. That's horrible.
I usually made it past that, but the next level I could just never find my way, and there's all these like impossible jumps that you had to do. Like is so bad. I hated that game, even though I loved everything Ninja Turtles. Actually, um, one sec.
Okay. I'll keep the folks entertained in the meantime. So yeah, I always thought like it's so funny because the first game sucked, but the second game was like the arcade TMNT2 was one of the best like arcade games ever.
I thought so too. Then I replayed it recently because someone got me. I think it was my sister got me the collection on PS4, and I didn't have a fun time playing it.
Really?
Yeah. It wasn't like
Oh,
no
wow.
member berries. I'm like, this game kind of sucks. It just didn't.
Interesting.
Look.
Oh,
I have.
look at this.
My wife was rummaging through my closet here downstairs, and my mom apparently when I first moved in here in 2010, she gave me a box of like my old toys, and I just had them in the back, and
that's awesome.
I was like, oh my god, I remember these. There's one more here. Where is he? There's your guy, Leonardo. I actually don't have I don't have Michelangelo. But I was gonna give to my son. So he just got into turtles recently. So
okay, that's awesome. Oh man,
he's gonna have they have these suction cups on them, so you can stick them to like the windows.
Oh, nice.
So yeah, I think he's gonna like them. So he's sleeping over at my mom's house today, so he hasn't seen them yet. But I think he's gonna have a fun time with them.
That's so cool. You should have him try to play the original NES game.
Well, right now he's. Actually, I'm trying to get into video games. He's actually playing Final Fantasy VII Rebirth.
Okay.
Rebirth right now. I only have him in the combat simulator, and he's like, he was playing Donkey Kong Country, but he's playing Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze, and unfortunately, like he hasn't mastered timing yet with the jumps. So like he's either like way too early or way too late, and he just gets hit by the guys. And eventually he's like, "Oh, Daddy, take this." he gets like frustrated. But Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, all you really have to do, like unless you're playing a tough bad guy, all you really have to do is mash the square button, and that's what he does. He kills some bad guys too in that game.
Nice.
But it's again like that's unless like. You have to do strategy against like tough bad guys, but against easy ones, you could just smash like the whole time. So,
wow.
Yeah.
You know what you should do instead of like punishing your kids? You should force them to play like Jekyll and Hyde on NES or like Ghosts and Goblins.
Oh my god.
Well, I mean, it isn't. Well, it's a frustrating game, but it's not a bad game. Or have them play like ET on Atari. Remember the ET game on Atari?
Oh my god, yeah.
So you just like you raise your neck and you fall into the pit and then you float out. It's like that was all there was to the game. It didn't make any sense.
Yeah. I could be like, you're not leaving your room until you beat level 2. And
exactly.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
You could kill Shredder by camping above him with Dawn if it wasn't nearly impossible to reach Shredder. Yeah, that's the problem. That's too bad. I enjoyed TMNT Collection. Turtles in Time held up well. I finally beat the first NES game with the rewind feature. You'd have to do that with the rewind. I didn't play Turtles in Time though. I wanted to beat the second one, and I don't know what happened. Like I remember the TMNT 2 on NES being super easy when I was a kid. I used to be able to beat that like easily. And then I replayed it with this collection. I don't know if like they raised the difficulty, but I died on the first level. I died at like whoever the first boss was. I think it was
really?
Rocksteady. Rocksteady killed me in my first playthrough.
Oh wow.
And then eventually I did reach like level 4, level 5, but I died there too. So I think if I kept playing, I probably would beat it again. But for some reason, I was like far worse at this game than I was as a kid. So it's probably because I played so many video games as a kid. I didn't have a life.
Yeah.
Actually, I bet my I used to be so into Nintendo games that my friend Frank was like, I bet you can't go a week without playing Nintendo games. And we bet like it was like $10 back then or something, you know.
Yeah.
I was like, you're on. And then that night I lost the bet.
Dude, it's hilarious.
Yeah. I had to bet. You couldn't stop.
Yeah.
That's why I was so much better back then, because now I especially during football season, I play like unless it's with my son, who actually he likes watching me play Resident Evil, the remake.
Mhm.
Unless I'm playing that, I don't get to play. I play like an hour or two per week. Usually Saturday nights. I'm like, okay, I'm done my work for the week. I have nothing else to do. Let me just chill out and play Final Fantasy VII Rebirth for an hour or two. I'll play way more during the off season, but like during football season, I just don't have any time. So I just don't have a lot of time. Yeah, there's a lot of games that were easy for me back in the 90s. I struggle a lot. Yeah, I couldn't even imagine playing Ghosts and Goblins right now.
Oh my god, I'd lose my mind.
Yeah, I got to the final boss playing that when I was younger, but now I don't think I could. Yeah.
All right, I better hit. Oh, look, it's 133. That's my number. That's good luck.
There it is. That's a sign. We're going 5-0. Let's go.
But exactly. But I was up at 5. I was up at 5 a.m. today, so
yeah,
I need to start laying down.
Yeah. Saying, well, I got some work to do, and then later.
Eventually you will.
Yeah, I have to be on the Play Like a Jet podcast right after this. So, all right, guys, thanks for watching and commenting. Really appreciate it. Thanks for watching all week. If you've been here all week with us, I hope you guys win all your bets and have fun watching football. We'll be back on Tuesday with the normal schedule. In the meantime, please hit like, subscribe, comment below, share this video. Visit the link in the description for the merch store. Visit walterfootball.com for tons of content every single day. And follow Quacky_T on Twitch, where he will be playing Willie Beamish one day, and I'll be on if he would have me. So
that's right.
Follow there.
And give me a follow on Twitter. I started giving out the underdog hockey picks. We're 2-0 so far. We hit a nice one with the LA Kings. Thursday night. So I usually only have maybe like a pick every week and a half, but usually they're pretty solid. They're always underdogs. So yeah, feel free to tail. Walter has been the beneficiary of many of them over the last few years. So
Yesterday,
you can provide testimony.
Yesterday we took the Kings, and that worked out very well. So follow Tom at Quacky T on Twitter /X, whatever you want to call it. Guys, once again, I hope you guys have a great weekend, and thanks again for watching, commenting. Really appreciate it, and we'll be back on Tuesday. So I will talk to you then.
See you.